They need to get on out here.
A very pleasant good evening from Jim Wall Stadium on the campus of Basha High School. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey for Red Mountain Football as the Mountain Lions take their act out on the road here to take on the Basha Bears. The Bears are 4-1, as is Red Mountain. Red Mountain coming off a 35-27 gutty road win last week at Westview.
Yeah, it was a great game last week at Westview, a hard-fought game. Red Mountain able to come out on top, and they're looking forward to the matchup here tonight against Basha, which is going to be a formidable opponent. A lot of skilled players on this Basha team, and they're ready to go to work.
Last time these two teams squared off, it was at Red Mountain High School last year, and Red Mountain lost that game at home. They were ahead at the break, and Basha, with a come-from-behind victory, they were really led by Ty Surferman. Gabe Friend played in that football game. He was excellent in that game, but it was all about Ty Surferman, that Swiss Army knife. He kicked a field goal. He was involved in a double pass play, and then Cam the Mateen took one to the house about 99 yards, and that really kind of broke the back of Red Mountain special teams unit, and they were not able to recover. Basha won that game 24-17.
Yeah, Ty Sifferman was unbelievable in that game last year at Red Mountain High School. He was the Georgia Ramirez, if you will, for Basha last year, doing it all in the kicking game. He ran the football. He threw it. I think he even threw one to himself sometime during the game, but he was all over the field. It was a great game last year at Red Mountain, and it's going to be another great matchup here tonight.
What was exciting about that game 1 year ago, it marked the debut of Deontay Elliott, the transfer from Desert Ridge. Deontay made his debut as a member of the Mountain Lions, and he did not disappoint. 15 for 92 in the first half. He finished 25 carries, 136 yards and a touchdown. And that was just the beginning of what we were going to see as Red Mountain broadcasters and Red Mountain football fans, what Deontay Elliott was all about.
Yeah, a year ago he made his splash at Red Mountain High School, and he's been doing great things for the Mountain Lions ever since. Been hampered a little bit here and there with injuries, kind of a couple nagging injuries for Deontay Elliott, but he's really broken out here in the last couple of weeks, and we look for him to continue doing that here tonight.
Elliott, a big night, and then Georgie Ramirez, 7 carries, 25 yards, and a touchdown in that game just a season ago. It was Kalem Reese-Peebles. He was the big target as the wide receiver. He hauled in 5 passes for 70 yards from Darren Smith. That was before they started to go from Darren Smith to Garrett Strelbeth. Then the big thing was it was Kyle Anders' defense. They picked off Gabe Friend twice in that ball game. Well, the big difference is here is that we segue now to 2019. You credit Basha for the big win a year ago, but now it's a chance for redemption tonight for Red Mountain on the road. Mike Peterson's team still in the mix in the Super 8 tournament. And, in fact, if you look at the Arizona Varsity Super Ocho, or the Ocho they call it, Red Mountain was right there at number 8 in the Super 8 with their 4-1 record. Can they win out? Well, tonight's game against Basha is going to tell the tale on what happens without the duration of the season. But it should be noted, Basha's a very different football team tonight. They lost Gabe Friend. He got hurt in the La Jolla game a couple weeks back. He tore his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee. He's out for the season, and that means Micah Harper is going to be the quarterback for Chris McDonald.
Well, anytime you make a quarterback change, it's a detriment to your football team. You have to. There's a lot of things that go into that. You know, the relationship between the center and the quarterback, that exchange, the handoffs with the running backs, and obviously the timing with the receivers. So losing Gabe Friend is going to be detrimental for the Basha Bears. And so, like you said, it's a chance for Red Mountain for a little bit of redemption, and that's exactly what they're looking for here tonight.
I like that word, redemption. That's exactly what this is. It's a chance to even up the score, if you will. In the all-time series, Red Mountain leads the all-time series against the Basha Bears 3-1. So this will be very interesting. Now, Micah Harper, he is a talented two-way player, plays a little bit of cornerback. He's a very gifted athlete. So we'll have to see how he does tonight with a full week of practice, a full week of reps as the guy, because last week things didn't go so well for him. They played the Highland Hawks, and Brock Farrell's Highland Hawk football team, they are loaded, and they are a team that is going to contend for the Super 8. But it was Highland all over Basha last week, 40-7, and Micah Harper was only able to get involved offensively for one score. That was to Zion Williams, a 69-yard touchdown pass, and that was it for this Basha Bear offense that's really been putting up a lot of points and had a ton of success behind Gabe Friend.
Yeah, well, that was a good measuring stick last week for Basha squaring off against the Highland Hawks. What you mentioned is a very loaded football team, and Highland is definitely in contention for that Super 8. You mentioned Red Mountain also in contention for the Super 8 this year, and the only loss, let's face it, Kevin, they're 1 point away, this football team, from being 5-0.
Absolutely, and that loss to the Perry Pumas, and the way that things have unraveled for the Perry Pumas with a suspension, losing that game last week. It's wide open now, especially when you look at the Premier Region. This Basha Bear team going into the Premier Region, you look at Brophy and Hamilton and Chandler and all these teams, it's going to be tough to win football games. And all these teams in the Premier Region have their work cut out for them. And Basha will begin their region play next week. But here tonight, Red Mountain with a golden opportunity to go to 5-1 and handle things here on the road. We'll take a quick break as we honor America with the presentation of the colors in our national anthem. More Red Mountain football coming up right after this. We welcome you back to Basha High. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. It's going to be a loud one here tonight on the road, way out east. And I mean way out east. We've got a fantastic football game in the making here for you. And a couple newcomers for you. Anthony Carrington will get significant playing time tonight. And one note, Ramses Rivera, the wide receiver, the very talented wide receiver, was suspended this week due to a violation of team rules, and he will sit this game out. That's Butler from his own end zone. Butler to the far sideline. Butler is going to break a tackle around the 45-yard line out to midfield, and we'll double check that. That was Josiah Villanueva on the return. You could just tell that was, we'll double, hold the phone here. It was. That's what it looked like. That's what I called. I called Daniel the Beast Butler on that return. It looked like Villanueva might have been the guy coming up from that pile, and that was on the far side of the field. Red Mountain wearing their all-white uniforms, trimmed in the cardinal and black. And Daniel Butler, the man we just mentioned, who returned that kick, will start at wide receiver tonight. We won't see the Beast playing quarterback tonight. We will see Andrew Bonham get the start along with Cole Shivers. So Red Mountain working right to left against the Basha Bears. Both teams 4-1, 11:51 to go in this opening quarter. There goes Jared Wilson in motion. Basha showing blitz early on. They're coming after the quarterback. They roll out for Bourne. He throws down the field looking for Wilson, and Wilson had one hand on it and couldn't pull it in. What a pass play to open up the game. Typically, you see Red Mountain come out in their patented run, and that time they roll Hiram Bourne out to the near side, and he threw a strike down to Jared Wilson. He was just unable to haul that one in. Good throw, great route. He was open.
Great throw indeed. Basha bringing the heat. Coach Chris McDonald right away turning that heat up on defense. Pressure coming right away. They flushed Hiram Bourne out of the pocket. He was able to keep his eyes down the football field and threw a nice ball out there to Jay Willie, but just unable to catch that one.
So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. 2 stacked to the left, 2 to the right. This is Bourne on a design run to the 50-yard line. Breaks the tackle at the 45, 40, still on his feet, 30, and he's going to be grabbed from behind by Micah Harper. That's Hiram Bourne get loose on that design quarterback run. How about that, James Poovey?
How about the guy he flattened about the 45-yard line, Kevin? What a run that time for Hiram Bourne. I talk about it all the time, the linebacker playing quarterback, and you saw it right there.
Unofficially a 36-yard run for Hiram Bourne, and the Red Mountain Lions, leading the 6A conference in scoring with just over 50 points a game, are knocking on the red zone door here on their first drive. 11:18 to go. Ball's on the 24-yard line. Elliott gets his first carry. Up the middle, breaks a tackle, lowers his shoulder, continues to stay on his feet, gets popped around the 10-yard line. Deontay Elliott rips off a 14-yard run right behind the offensive line. That's Costin Cooley, the Air Force commit, and Carson Foster also starting in that right guard spot. How about paving the way right there, JP? Huge holes, and Deontay Elliott just ran right through him with speed.
Boy, that beef on the right side for Red Mountain doing a great job opening up the holes early here in the football game. Number 11, Caden Camacho, meet number 5, Deontay Elliott. You just got ran over, my friend.
Caden Camacho is one of their more talented defenders. Jared Wilson split out to the right side. Beecher to the near side. They run it to Elliott, and Elliott jump cut, breaks to the right side, turns the corner, and he's going to coast into the end zone untouched for a touchdown. Deontay Elliott, 10 yards to the house, and the Mountain Lions strike first here in this road football game against the Basha Bears on a touchdown run by Deontay Elliott. For Deontay, his 7th rushing touchdown, and you talked about that right side. Jake Griffin and Carson Foster just blew open a gaping hole, and then the jump cut and the burst by Deontay Elliott is nothing short of special.
Yeah, those offensive linemen just blocking and sealing off there to the outside. Deontay Elliott, once he gets to that corner, it's just all speed. He got around the edge that time and headed for pay dirt.
Low snap, and Wilson gets the ball placed, and Connor Gardner buries the one-point conversion attempt. 10:31 to go in this opening stanza. Our score, Red Mountain 7, the Basha Bears nothing, and that is how you start a football game, James Poovey. You take the opening kickoff, you smash him in the mouth on the far sideline. The quarterback makes a nice run. He lowers the boom, and then Deontay Elliott with the finish. That's about a 5-play drive. They go almost 80 yards, and it's 7-0. Let's play football.
A cornucopia of stuff there, Kevin, if you will, on that first drive. They ran the football. They threw it down the field. The quarterback ran it. We gave it to Deontay Elliott a couple times. He got loose around the edge. They took it right up the middle, power football. What else do you need?
That was an outstanding drive. We'll set up a couple things for you. Here are our keys to the game for the defense. Get off the field on third down. That's just something that has plagued Red Mountain's defense all season long. And let's be honest, sometimes you got to do things with smoke and mirrors. And you have to do things to scheme guys. You don't have the dudes that you've had in years past. So sometimes you've got to kind of outfox and outsmart some people. Red Mountain can certainly do that.
Well, yeah, it comes down to the coaching for that, and game plan design for these guys is top-notch. And we talk about it all the time as well. They're able to go in at halftime and make those adjustments, critical adjustments, come out and even play better in the second half.
More keys to the game, James Poovey. Limit the big plays. Limit the X plays, right? Those plays that are over 15 yards or more, they want to keep those in check. And let's be honest, you look and see what this team does to condition. Plays that are over 15 yards of the game, they go into gassers, and they'll have results on Monday and Tuesday. So they had a lot of gassers last week in that game against Westview. So they're going to clean things up here tonight. We're going to limit big plays. And one other thing on defense, you want to contain their quarterback, number 6, Micah Harper. He's got about 20 offers. This kid's an outstanding football player. They're going to have to contain him. These running quarterbacks, Mike Peterson said on the line last week, running quarterbacks, dual threat QBs are the kryptonite for this Red Mountain defense. Micah Harper is close to that category.
Well, he can do so many things from the quarterback position, Ken. Micah Harper, they can set him up, they can run him to the outside, they can run him up the middle, they can do a misdirection, they can do a lot of play action with him. So the Red Mountain defense has got to be prepared for that, and they got to stay home and stay in their lanes tonight.
They got to be prepared for Camden Mateen, a 4x100 relay specialist. Camden Mateen already an 80-yard touchdown return this year. You got to watch out for him, and you have to watch out for Zion Williams as well. Connor's going to pooch this one to the right side of the field. They don't want to mess with the return game at all. And this one's pooched around the 35-yard line, and there will be no return. That is by design. So the idea is you want Connor Gardner to drill him into the end zone. Yes, indeed, most cases. But tonight, with these conditions, mild evening, temperatures have cooled off. We're heading into fall, as we talked about last week, and how sweet is it?
It's beautiful outside, isn't it? A great night out for football. And as much as we appreciate everyone who's watching and listening on the broadcast tonight, we hope you make your way out to a football game, especially now that it's cooling off. And there's some really excellent talent here in the state of Arizona.
Micah Harper gets the start at quarterback, his second start of the season, a high IQ, very smart football player. He's 5'11", 180, and he'll work out of the shotgun here tonight. He'll take the snap on a play fake. He throws a little screen pass to the outside and slipping a tackle and taking the ball out across the 35-yard line. We'll call it the 37-yard line. That's one of the top receivers on this team. That's Zion Williams. Williams, the leading receiver on this club with 20 catches, now 21, to go along with 497 yards and 5 touchdowns. Good pursuit there by the cornerbacks in the secondary coming over there to defend that play.
Yeah, great job on pursuit there. We talked with defensive coordinator Kyle Enders before the ball game tonight, and he said they were going to try to focus on keeping everything in front of them, and as you mentioned a little earlier, avoid any of those big plays.
Caden Camacho lines up to the near side. The tailback is Andrew Fernandez. He's their leading rusher. He's flanked to the left of Micah Harper as you see Zach Cody go in motion. There's a play fake, and this is going to be Harper on the carry. Makes a move, breaks a tackle at the 45-yard line, and he'll take it out to the boundary near the 50-yard line, and we'll see where they spot the football. Looks like they're going to spot it in Red Mountain territory. Well, now they're going to throw it back to the umpire, and they're going to spot the ball on the Basha side of the field. So the ball will be spotted on the 48-yard line. It looked like Micah Harper was pushed out of bounds in Red Mountain territory, but Red Mountain gets a favorable spot here on this particular play, James.
Yeah, they'll take the spot for sure, but how about Micah Harper? He's got a little bit of wiggle out there, and he gets to the outside. That guy's shifty.
He has got some serious scoots, does Micah Harper. We'll talk about the offers for him as we move on. Defensively, we'll set you up. The left end is Trey Smith, 6'5", 210. The nose tackles, Costin Cooley, 6'4", 220. Jake Griffin, the defensive tackle. There's a high snap. They go to Fernandez, and he's going to try to get to the line to gain, and he's going to be shut down there by Jake Griffin and company. Nice defensive pursuit on that right side by Red Mountain, and you have to appreciate the hustle by the Mountain Lions. Cole Loria gets the start at that cat spot. Loria, 5'11", 175, has 15 tackles this season. I mentioned that in the outset of the broadcast. So Chris McDonald will take some time to get this play call in. There's 11 seconds on the play clock. The play clock is visible here at Jim Wall Stadium on the campus of Basha High. So Harper will have to quickly head up to the line of scrimmage. He takes the shotgun snap, looks left, throws down the middle of the field, looking for the deep ball, and the ball's caught by Williams, and he's going to take it in for a touchdown. Zion Williams, 53 yards to pay dirt, and the Basha Bears respond with a long touchdown pass of their own. And let's play some football. Here we go. 8:42 to go. The Bears answer with a big strike.
Wow, the track meet is on here, Kevin. How about that throw from Micah Harper, able to drop back, plenty of protection in front of him. The wide receiver was just off to the races. Zion Williams, he had a good 2 or 3 yards on the defender, and a beautifully placed football there for Micah Harper.
Zion Williams, touchdown reception number 6. And the point after try here with 8:42 to go in this opening quarter. The holder is Caden Camacho. Derek Bass is the place kicker. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is right down the middle. 8:42 to go in this opening quarter. Red Mountain strikes first, and then the Basha Bears, about 3 plays later, they strike on their own. And as you mentioned, is a track meet on. Here we go, 7-7.
We talked a minute ago about Red Mountain wanting to avoid those big plays, and that's exactly what we were talking about right there. They got behind them, and they burned them for 6. So they've got to shore things up, and Coach Kyle Anderson will take care of that here very shortly and start playing some football.
How about Zion Williams when he made that reception and made a cut towards the far side of the field, kind of maybe showed the ball a little bit, got a little showy right there. I guess when you've got 4.4 speed like that, you can get a little showy. But you mentioned the throw. That was a beautiful throw. Dropping a dime right there was Micah Harper. And you're right, he had about 6 to 7 yards on the defender. That was an easy one to complete when you think about it.
Yeah, great close there by the Red Mountain defender, too, closing that gap there before he crossed the plane of the goal line. But the speed for Zion Williams, wow.
So Carrington is back deep as well as Daniel Butler. It'll be Butler from his, nope, it's going to bounce over Butler's head. And kind of a funny play there for Daniel Butler. Butler is 5'6", 146, and to see the ball bounce over his head, it just kind of brought a chuckle. But that one goes into the end zone. So a big kick there by Derek Bass. And the Basha Bears, their head coach Chris McDonald said, hey, we've got a long season to go, and we've got a lot of football to play, and I want my players to know that we've got a lot to play for. Just because we lost Gabe Friend doesn't mean the season's over, and that's why Micah Harper is their quarterback, and he's a playmaker, and you saw that on the first drive of the game.
Well, yeah, tough for any coach, too, to help the team keep that enthusiasm and keep that drive going and let them know that one player is not going to affect the team, hopefully, that much.
Deontay Elliott flanked to the left of the quarterback, Hiram Bourne. They run a screen to the outside, and with a big player to the outside. Nice catch there by, looked like Jared Wilson, but it might be Jackson Beecher, and it was. It was JB making that reception on the bubble screen. And then how about Jackson Beecher showing you his speed the last couple of weeks. That time he got loose with some great blocking by those wide receivers there, and he just scooted down the sideline there for about a 15-yard pickup.
Well, that's one thing these Red Mountain receivers do really well. They block down the field, and they block for each other really well, and that allowed Jackson Beecher to hit the Jets on the far side of the field there and pick up a nice chunk of yardage.
That yardage was actually Bourne to Beecher for 24 yards, longest play of the game. Bourne on the run. He throws a strike to Jerry Wilson at the 40-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds. Caden Camacho right there with the stop. And you talk about a pretty football play. The quarterback, Hiram Bourne, emerging right before your very eyes. Each and every week continues to get better. That throw right there across his body, an absolute rifle right into the arms of Jared Wilson. On target, on time, beautiful throw and catch.
Rolling to his left-hand side, Kevin, what an outstanding job. Flip those hips in a hurry and swing that football out there, and had to put a little bit of touch on it, too, to get it over that defender. What a throw.
Gain of 19. Bourne puts it in the hands. Bourne's going to run it. Bourne to the 40, penalty marker, 45. And this one's coming back. So Hiram Bourne, a design run, and we're going to see what this one's all about. Good defense that time by the Basha Bears to stretch out Hiram Bourne to the far side of the field, but the official threw that handkerchief pretty early on that play. Bourne hadn't even made a cut yet or turned the corner, and they'd already had that penalty marker down.
Yeah, there was a little block in the back there in the backfield. Looked like number 11 for Red Mountain. Was that Connor Gardner in the football game, Kev?
Connor
Gardner. Block in the back there.
Connor Gardner is starting at wide receiver tonight. Remember, the Mountain Lions are down 1. Rivera is here. I saw him in the stands, but he is not suited up.
Good to see Rams is here supporting the team.
He will be back with the team on Monday. Out to Wilson. Make the catch at the 50. Make a move at that 45-yard line, and they're going to knock him out of balance around the, we'll call it the 45, maybe the 44-yard line. Over there in pursuit defensively was Zion Williams. Williams, a two-way stud. That is his 10th tackle of the season, playing the right cornerback position. You'll see an awful lot of Caden Camacho. He, too, one of their leading tacklers. He has 25 tackles on the season.
Nice to see Jared Wilson get involved, too, here in the Red Mountain offense as well.
Jared Wilson coming off a 6-catch, 66-yard performance a week ago with that touchdown. He started the scoring for Red Mountain. He lines up with a slot and a full wide receiver package for Hiram Bourne. Ty McElroy is in there at tailback. They try to set up a screen, and the ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Not sure who got a hand on that for Basha. It looked like 54 was in there making the play, and that is Mikey
Sliskovic.
6'2", 230. He can get after the quarterback, has 4.5 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. The sack leader is Jackson Larson with 3.
Sliskovic doing a great job that time, doing exactly what he's coached to do. As soon as he sees that quarterback put that arm up, get those paws up in the air in a hurry and bat that football down.
Bourne back to throw from the pocket, wants to go deep, winds up, looking for his receiver. It's Carrington, and he dropped the football. Carrington was there, and he couldn't haul that one in. Andrell Barney right there with the coverage, but Anthony Carrington with some great speed, and you have to love the size of this young man. Anthony Carrington. Looks like they've got some numbers jacked up there on the size, but that's okay. That is Carrington wearing number 16, and Hiram Bourne took a chance. Love that play call from Tabor Lamar. Unfortunately for Red Mountain, it's going to force a punting situation. But how about Barney kind of, after he made that play, might have stripped Carrington. Just didn't like the, oh, what a punt. That's the best punt of the season for Connor Gardner. That punt had some hang time. It was a spiral into the night sky, and a fair catch made there by the Basha Bears, and they'll have 90 yards to go in a 7-7 ball game. But that throw was a perfect throw by Hiram Bourne, and that offensive line, who was so instrumental last week in that fourth quarter, allowing Ty McElroy to get loose, and we'll talk about that as we go throughout the ball game. But that was a beautiful pass by Bourne. Maybe in this case, we could say it's a drop pass, but credit the defender that time, Barney, for breaking that up.
Yeah, Barney was there to disrupt that for sure, but you really would have liked to see Carrington bring that one in, especially after that beautiful pass there from Hiram Bourne.
And I just, again, point that out. We haven't had a chance to get there. Have not had a chance to get there. And we're going to. All right, this is Micah Harper. This is his second drive of the night. Quick pass to the outside. This one's batted down and incomplete. Good defense there by Red Mountain.
That was number 47 on the edge there for Red Mountain, doing a great job. Cole Loria getting those hands up and knocking that football down.
Make sure we set you up defensively for Red Mountain. The linebacker, the sandbacker is Skylar Edmonds. The Mike backer is Parker McClure. The Will backer is Major Kelly. Our field corner tonight is Cole Shavers. The strong safety is George Ramirez. The free safety is Ethan Peterson, and Daniel Butler does not get the start tonight in favor of Andrew Bonham. Long count for Harper. Throws again, quick pass to the outside, and he is dropped down immediately by Major Kelly. Nice catch that time by Basha's Jacob Horner. And for Horner, seldom used in the offense here, but it makes a reception here early in this ball game, and nice defense there by Red Mountain.
Excellent job there. Nice job as well for Major Kelly closing in on that one. Nice form tackle there.
For Major Kelly, one of the leading tacklers on this unit, now has 37 tackles. So Harper, long count, Red Mountain showing blitz. 3 wide receivers to the wide side. There goes the tailback in motion. Harper under pressure, and he's going to go down. He's sacked. Micah Harper is sacked. A whole slew of Mountain Lions there to get him. And it looked like Trey Smith was the first guy there. And if Trey the Truth Smith is credited with that sack, that's sack number 7 for the 6A conference sack leader.
Outstanding job, Trey Smith once again squeezing that down, staying home, staying in his lane, not overrunning the play, and making an outstanding stop.
So here comes Derek Bass, the punter. And what was great about that particular play, James, for Trey Smith to step up big there, and Skylar Edmonds was also there. Red Mountain showing like they want to block it, and this time this punt gets away. Good punt by Smith. Wilson from his own 40. Splits the defender, and he's going to be tackled around the 35-yard line. A tough run there by Jared Wilson. He hasn't had the chance to return many. There's a penalty marker down on the 20-yard line. Let's see what this one's all about. But getting off the field on third down, one of our keys to the game, James. Red Mountain got off the field on third down on that particular play. Credit the sack to Trey Smith. That was a big-time defensive play on third down.
Well, that's exactly what you want if you're defensive coordinator Kyle Enders, especially after Basha was able to go down there and return that first fire there from Red Mountain and score right away and even this ball game up. Have a nice 3-and-out there on defense and now give the offense a little bit of a great field position, actually, to go and try to score that football.
Let's get to our keys of the game, JP. On defense, the last key to the game was to contain Micah Harper. They got him on that particular play. Nice job, Trey Smith. On offense, we want to control the tempo tonight. I think the idea would be to try to pick up the pace a little bit. We want to have a little bit more of a flow offensively this evening. Protect the rock. 2 fumbles last week. Can't have that happen. They've got to pick up the blitz tonight, looking for some more help from that offensive line. Looks like this penalty is going against Red Mountain, and I'm not sure how that penalty goes against the Mountain Lions when it was the only guy back was Jared Wilson. So that's kind of an interesting call. Special teams, solid special teams play from everybody, and of course the Connor Gardner factor. And then our impact players of the game tonight, Deontay Elliott, Parker McClure, and that man you just saw right there with that breakaway speed, Anthony Carrington. It's a long game. Let's see what we can do here. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of Basha on the play fake. Bourne wants to go deep again, looking for Ramirez, and the ball's incomplete. Georgie Ramirez running right down the seam. Had a pass play broken up there by Zion Williams. So Zion Williams, with his world-class speed, he's been in the mix here defensively quite a bit here tonight. Already has a 53-yard touchdown reception.
Yeah, Hiram Bourne going right back to the air there for Red Mountain, trying to hit Georgie Ramirez. But excellent coverage on that time from Zion Williams, and he was blanketing George Ramirez that time.
For Ramirez, 7 catches, 113 and 2 touchdowns. Both those touchdowns came last week in his 39 yards. Bourne with 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They run the football to Elliott. Jump cut. Now he turns the corner, and he's going to just shrug off any kind of would-be tackler as he picks up about 6 yards on that run. But Deontay so patient and so deliberate, and then once he starts to work around that line, it's a big line, he just did it so effortlessly. Big run.
It reminds me a lot of a Terrell Davis type of runner where he's able to pick his holes and a lot of zone blocking there for Terrell Davis. A lot of that stuff here is the same for Red Mountain, able to use his patience, get to the edge. If he finds a crease sometime before he hits the actual corner, he'll take it. If not, he gets around the edge in a hurry and tries to do something there.
Daniel the Beast Butler will be defended there by Zion Williams. There goes Jay Willie in motion. Bourne back to throw. And the pass is nearly batted down and picked off. The defender on the play for the Basha Bears was number 41 that time, and for Charles Gilbert, he got his mitts up there and blocked that pass down. Gilbert, 6'1", 210. Had a nice conversation with him before the game. He's a playmaker, and he says he loves to get after the quarterback.
Well, he was doing it right there, trying to get after the quarterback, and again, putting those arms in the air and batting that football down, causing that incompletion, and more important than that, forcing the 4th down.
That's just a great play by Gilbert. That's all you can do is tip your cap to him. That's a great play on the hustle. So here comes Connor Gardner with his punt average just below 36. It's 4th and 3. This looks like a good spot for a fake, but they pass up the opportunity. And Gardner will send this one down the right side of the field, end over end. Hit the back of a Basha Bear player. Now there's a scrum for the football, and it looks like Basha's recovered it. But that's exactly why you punt the ball just like that, James, for the crazy caroms. And how about special teams play? This young man continues to develop his game each and every week. He's been doing it on special teams. He has the ability to play some linebacker, but Bryce Stahl right down there on the hustle, 6 foot 200. He's starting to become involved on special teams with some regularity.
Yeah, Stahl doing a great job on the special teams for Red Mountain, and that's how you get noticed in the film room by the coaches, is doing stuff on special teams, and that's how you make your way onto the offensive or defensive starting lineup.
So Micah Harper will go to the work from his own 14-yard line, working out of the pistol. Now he repositions his running back, takes the snap, Gives it to the back, and the back's going to pick up 1, maybe 2 yards, and then it's going to be stuffed right there. Major Kelly and Trey Smith all over that play in run stuffing mode. And the ball carrier for Basha, his second carry of the night for Andrew Fernandez. Fernandez, 5'7", 155. He comes into the game with 324 all-purpose yards. Now we talk about some tempo. Basha right back up the line of scrimmage. They're ready to snap the football. Again, Fernandez flanked to the right now on a hard count there, and it looks like Edmonds or maybe Cole Loria jumped the snap count just a little bit. And that's a smart play by Chris McDonald's quarterback, Micah Harper, to use that hard count to get a free 5 here when you're pinned in deep in your own territory. That's just a heady play by the quarterback.
Yes, indeed. Every little bit counts, especially when you're deep in your own territory, and that advances the ball 5 yards further. And right now, I tell you what, Red Mountain is doing a great job playing gap control defense. Those linebackers are filling really well. Major Kelly, Parker McClure, and Skylar Edmonds doing a great job there for the linebacking core.
They really are, and Parker McClure is about ready to make a play here. 2nd and 2 after the penalty yardage is marked off. Now Fernandez flanked to the right of Micah Harper. Low snap. Harper back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Breaks a tackle, and he's not going to break this tackle from Jake Griffin that time.
Trey Smith.
Yeah, it was Trey Smith. Boy, Trey
Wow.
Smith, he is just wreaking some havoc tonight, playing very big for Trey Smith. So not going to get a sack on that play. I'll tell you what, that ball didn't move at all. He might have picked up his 2nd sack of the ball game, and if so, that'll be his 8th.
Wow.
No gain on the play. I believe that's going to go down as a sack for Trey Smith.
It should if there's no gain, for sure.
And here comes the defensive tackle, Jake Griffin, now on the field here. 3rd and short. Red Mountain showing blitz. Here they come. It's Harper on the direct snap, and Harper is going to be close to the first down. Micah Harper just took the snap, and he ran right into Georgie Ramirez right at the line to gain. I think Harper's going to have the first down by the nose of the football.
If there's one guy that knows how to tackle in open space, it's George Ramirez, and that's exactly what he did right there. An outstanding job getting that ball carrier on the ground, but not before he picked up enough for the first down.
Josh Campos. Josh Campos and Tyler Brown both race onto the field. Cole Shivers will defend Camacho right here to the near side. Again, Red Mountain showing blitz. Now Fernandez will join Harper to the right of him. Play fake, a quick pass to Williams. Williams breaks the tackle. There he goes. And he lost his shoe. And making a touchdown-saving tackle was Georgie Ramirez. Williams made a move in the backfield, split 2 or 3 defenders from Red Mountain, lost his shoe in the process, got to the 42-yard line. That's where Georgie Ramirez was there to save the day.
Well, I tell you what, Zion Williams was about to shift gears there right before he lost his shoe, and he was going to shift it into 4th or 5th and maybe get out the gate on that one. A lucky break there for Red Mountain.
I think exactly what happened is he chirped it in 2nd gear there, and that's when he lost his shoe. And here we are. That's a big gain right there. So we'll say unofficially 14 yards from Micah Harper to Zion Williams. 3 wide receivers now for Harper. Red Mountain again showing blitz. Now it's going to be Harper. Turn the corner, the 50-yard line. Down the sideline, and he'll step out of bounds there. Smart play there by Micah Harper. Harper being recruited by everybody. Abilene Christian, Air Force, Army, Azusa Pacific, BYU, Colgate, Dartmouth, Syracuse, Tulane, UTEP, Wyoming, Yale, Penn, Princeton. All those schools like that, you've got to have some smarts. And that's what we talk about, the cerebral approach by Micah Harper. A talented two-way player, but gifted, plays this game with a high football IQ.
Yeah, you got the high IQ going like that, especially in the football arena. You're getting it done in the classroom, and you've got the wheels on the field. You are going to get a lot of looks, and that's exactly what's going on for Micah Harper.
In motion there was Carson Bachman. Now everybody's set. 3 wide receivers for Micah Harper. It takes the snap, and now we're going to get a penalty on the field here. 53.3 on the game clock, and Basha, Chris McDonald took a timeout late, and we are tied at 7 apiece. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Glad you could be with us. We had a little over 100.5 live views, I believe, last week. Of course, that game, we shared it with everybody. It was on AIA 365 Game of the Week. But throughout the rest of the week, I believe that on the YouTube hit it, received 1,000 views for our broadcast last week. So we want to thank our global listening audience. Of course, Constance Cooley's grandmother's here, and we had a nice conversation with her, and it would be appropriate that we say happy birthday to the Air Force commit, to
yes, indeed.
CC Constance Cooley. Happy birthday, young man. Having an outstanding game here tonight. 7-7 ball game, 53.3 left to go in this one. And Chris McDonald's football team has always been well coached. Just his second year out of Maricopa, but they're here to play tonight.
Yeah, they're very well disciplined, as you mentioned, well coached, and they're very sound fundamentally from what I've seen so far here in the first quarter.
There goes Fernandez. Now this is Harper. Harper's going to be dragged down and brought down by Trey Smith. The truth all over that. Give him a tackle for a loss. And Trey Smith is having the best quarter of his Red Mountain career tonight.
Trey Smith is taking over the football game right now, Kevin, especially for the Red Mountain defense, doing a great job there. He is epitomizing what it means to keep outside contained. Once he forces the action back to the inside, he's able to scrape off the blocker, get back inside, and make a play. What a great job.
What a fantastic finish there by Trey Smith. He is really a wrecking ball here tonight. 14 seconds to go in the quarter. Harper will hand the ball off to Fernandez. Up the middle, he gets crunched. A bone-jarring hit right up the middle by Parker McClure. How about it for 30? Impact player right there. And you talk about an impact collision in the middle of the field. Parker McClure, meet Andrew Fernandez.
Mr. Fernandez, that might hurt a little bit tomorrow. Might require a few extra minutes in the ice tub. But I told you these guys are filling the holes tonight for this Red Mountain defense, and they're coming to play.
The physicality start to pick up here. Clock stop at zeros because the first 12 minutes are in the books. We're going to take a timeout on the field from Basha High at Jim Walsh Stadium. Our score, Red Mountain 7, Basha 7. Second quarter coming up next. Seven tie as we begin the second quarter. I want to take you back to last week. Red Mountain in that fourth quarter. Ty McElroy really did his best work. The offensive line stood on their head, and they were outstanding. Ty McElroy finished with 13 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. He was the Parker & Sons Lions Den Varsity Player of the Week. And the offensive line deserved that recognition as well. But you think about what Ty did in the fourth quarter. 7 carries, 77 yards in the fourth quarter, and that dagger touchdown. That was impressive football, and left lane hammer down. Red Mountain took care of business in that fourth quarter.
Well, good football teams know how to do that. They know how to run, ground and pound at the end of the football game and wear out that clock. And then the bonus, he scores at the end. So an outstanding job, an outstanding fourth quarter for Ty McElroy last week.
That was indeed big. All right, we're ready to begin the second quarter. Basha remains on the field. Lining up to the near side is Trent Pennington. To the far side is Zion Williams. The tailback is Andrew Fernandez, and the quarterback is Micah Harper. Red Mountain showing blitz. Parker McClure just had a huge play. Now they back out of it. Harper, a long count, takes the low snap, play fake, throws from the pocket over the middle of the field. The ball's caught on the 40-yard line. Inside the 30-yard line, down to the 20-yard line. Great catch that time by the wide receiver for Basha. That's Zach Cody. And for Cody, he's very seldom used offensively, but what a route, what a throw by Micah Harper.
What a throw, but what a catch. He had to turn around and get that football, bring it back in traffic, knowing he was going to get hit. What an outstanding job.
That was a big third down play Red Mountain wants to get off the field on third down, and that time Micah Harper threw a P down the middle of the field, and indeed, what a catch by Zach Cody. Cody getting involved in the offense. He, too, very seldom used. Red Mountain up to the line of scrimmage. This is Harper on an option right. Ball's fumbled, and somehow the tailback got the football back. Andrew Fernandez recovered his own football. Skylar Edmonds over there making things difficult in traffic for the Mountain Lions. And that's something that Red Mountain would like to do, is get a couple of takeaways here in this football game.
A very fortunate bounce that time for Fernandez and Basha. He was able to recover that one right away because that could have been disastrous because they're driving the football right now.
It could have very well been disastrous for Cody. That was his first catch of the season for Cody. Didn't even have it credited, so I assumed it was his first. This is a run play to Fernandez, and there's not a lot of room to run at all. Coming in a hurry there was that linebacking core led by Major Kelly and Parker McClure there. And how about big Jake Griffin there also plugging things up in the middle in that 3-tech spot.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and there's a lot of run-through right now coming through that Bash offensive line. Coach Chris McDonald is going to want to shore that up because right now these Red Mountain defenders are getting in that backfield, but they got to be careful not to overrun the play because that'll open up more running lanes for the dangerous Micah Harper.
Micah Harper ever so dangerous right now. 39 from the 19-yard line. Well, Red Mountain low snap looking to the outside, and he threw that pass in a hurry. He had to because Cole Loria was applying pressure from the outside and give Loria a hurry right there. And for Red Mountain, they get a stop on third down. Micah Harper trying to rush that pass into the hands of Caden Camacho. Good coverage there on the outside by Cole Shivers and friends, and that'll mean that Derek Bass will have to come out here and try a field goal attempt. This will be a 26-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is low, and it is hit the crossbar, and it bounces up, and it does not go in.
Wow.
So the Mountain Lions dodged a bull on that low line drive kick, hit the crossbar, bounced up, and it had a chance to carry him over, and it didn't. So
really close, though. My
old
goodness.
Uncle Mo now on the side of the Mountain Lions. They dodge a bullet here, and they'll send the franchise out on the field Hiram Board.
Well, now what they want to do, Kevin, is they want to come out here and have a long, nice drive, sustained running attack, throw the football a little bit, but more importantly, they want to wear out this Basha defense.
Bourne, 826 yards coming into the ball game, 16th in the 6A. He has 11 touchdown passes. That's 7th in the 6A, up against only 2 picks. 9:51 to go here. Long field for Red Mountain, 80 yards to pay dirt. 2 wide receivers to the left. There goes the tight end in motion. That looked like it was Skidmore. This ball is in the hands of Deontay Elliott. Elliott makes a man miss, still on his feet, out across the 25 to the 30-yard line. And Deontay Elliott will be tripped up there by Zach Cody.
Ty McElroy. T-Mac.
Well, to take a line from Mike Peterson, dadgummit, right there. So T-Mac gets his first carry of the night.
Don't be that guy.
Ty McElroy, a big game last week, the player of the week, as we mentioned, gets his first carry, and he's going to have a first down on that first carry. So give him 11 yards. There goes Skidmore in motion once again. It's Bourne with a wide receiver to his left and one to his right. They run it this time. This time it's Deontay Elliott making guys miss, breaking tackles, and finally they swarm to the football around the 31-yard line.
Wow, what a great job that time for that Basha defense charging in there. Leading the charge was number 44, Ricky Halva, 6'2", 190 pounds, and he had a host of guys pursuing right along with him. Great job there for Basha defense that time.
Charles Gilbert also there on the assist category as Hiram Bourne gets a play directly from Tabor Lamar. Tabor Lamar, Chris Andriatis, that dynamic play callers for the coordinators for Mike Peterson. 2nd and 9 for the 31-yard line. A lot of action that first quarter, and as we have played here about 3.5 minutes in the second quarter, a little bit slow here as Basha showing blitz at the line of scrimmage. High snap. This is Deontay Elliott. Big hole up the middle. There goes Deontay with speed, 50, and he breaks the tackle on the 45-yard line. And that's a nice run there by Deontay Elliott. We mentioned 25 carries, 136 last season against the Basha Bears, and he just carved off a big run there with a lot of speed and power.
Right up the middle, too. Credit to the offensive line up front, paving the way for him. Costin Cooley, Jake Griffin doing a great job up there as well in the front. And just plenty of running room there for the speedy Deontay Elliott.
29 yards for Deontay. Here comes Ty McElroy. Breaks a tackle at the 40-yard line, and they're just going to gang tackle him at the 40. And Zion Williams pushing Jake Griffin off the pile there. And Williams with a word to the quarterback. So you got Hiram Bourne jawing at Zion Williams. And I said that Zion Williams was talking trash on that first touchdown. So you got to be careful for him. Keep your composure. Keep cool. Red Mountain needs to take care of business here, and that's going smash mouth the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen now because you got Hiram Bourne getting that little bit of lip there from Zion Williams, and Jake Griffin got involved as well, so look out.
Josiah Villanueva has checked in at one tailback spot to give Deontay Elliott a breather. He's to the left of Hiram Bourne. Shotgun snap. Here comes the pressure. Great block there by McElroy. Jump ball, and the pass is caught on the 22-yard line up by Jackson Beecher. Jackson Beecher out-leaped the defender that time. I think that time he got Andrew Barney beaten, and great catch there by Beecher. Good throw by Hiram Bourne. He showed excellent touch in that secondary. Now we get an unsportsmanlike penalty coming up here against Red Mountain. That was behind the play, and the only people walking with the referee were Red Mountain football players. So somebody...
I completely missed that, Kevin.
Somebody had to have said something under their breath, but to job somebody for 15 after that particular pass play is unacceptable. This is tackle football on Friday night with two teams that are getting after it, two teams that have Super 8 aspirations, two teams that have championship aspirations, and you're going to get involved and throw a penalty like that. That is just poor judgment, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Now,
I didn't see anything. All I saw was a great catch that we were talking about from Jackson Beecher.
There wasn't anything to see, James. It was something that they said. It was some verbal nonsense, some verbal jargon. But how about Ty McElroy with that blitz pickup that time? We talked about it at the outset of the game. They need blitz pickup, and Ty McElroy right there to take on the blitzer and get Bourne that time to complete that pass. Jackson Beecher.
T-Mac always giving excellent protection in the backfield. About 2 plays ago as well, I don't know if you noticed over here, but he was able to peel back and throw a block there for Deontay Elliott as well.
Villanueva remains in the ball game. This is a run to Ty McElroy. Ty McElroy tries to spin out of a tackle at the 35-yard line, and it's going to be dropped right there. Good defense that time by the Basha Bears. Coming over to make that play for Basha. It looked like it was Tate Blevins. Blevins with his 22nd tackle this season. Here comes some changes on that offensive line. Tyler Brown will now check in. Skidmore will give way. Villanueva gives way. And Deontay Elliott's back on the field. Ball spotted on the 35-yard line. 6:18 to go to halftime. Working left to right. Wearing the all-white on the Red Mountain Lions.
Time to take a shot.
Basha wearing their hunter green and their Vegas gold. Showing blitz here. Bourne on a play fake. Give it to Elliott. Elliott up the middle. And Elliott breaks the tackle at the 30. Still on his feet. Bounce it outside. There goes Deontay to the 15. Inside the 10-yard line. And he's going to be wrapped up right near the 5-yard line. Another powerful run. Breaking tackles and shedding would-be tacklers by Deontay Elliott.
What a run that time. Outstanding job. They had him down about 3 times, Kevin. He refused to go down, kept those legs churning the entire time, and just slipped right out of there and kept on running.
Using the stiff arm also, Deontay Elliott, a 30-yard gash on this Basha defense, and now Red Mountain in the red zone here. Ball's on the 6-yard line. We'll call it 34 yards. When it's all said and done, let's change it to 29 yards. I like the 30 better. High snap. They give it to Ty McElroy. T-Mac in that middle of the pile there, trying to draw those tacklers and pull them with them and take them on the ride. And this time they're going to stuff them. But good, powerful running inside there by Ty McElroy. Looks like more beef coming in. Gage Skidmore will check back in. So Jared Wilson, Georgie Ramirez in at wide receiver along with Jackson Beecher.
Going to pound the rock here.
Ty McElroy is the tailback. George Ramirez flanked to the left of Hiram Bourne. Second and goal on the 6-yard line. So on that last play, no yards for Ty McElroy. Second and goal from the 6. Out of the gun, it's Bourne. Wants to throw. Can run it to the 10, the 5. And he'll coast in for the touchdown. Hiram Bourne, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season for the quarterback for Hiram.
What an outstanding job that time for Hiram Bourne, able to get out to the edge in a hurry there. What a great job. He was able to diagnose the play. He saw the matchup. There was 2-on-2 on the edge there. He knew he had a man, and he took it right into the end zone. What a great job.
Great speed for Hiram Bourne, and you have to love his field awareness and using his blockers and just sneaking inside that pylon to house it again. Hiram Bourne, a playmaker, not only with that arm, but with his legs. He has really become a fantastic dual-threat quarterback in the 6A conference.
And let me tell you, how many people you think are going to step up on Hiram Bourne on the edge there, Kevin? 6'1", 190 pounds. I mentioned he played linebacker before for this Red Mountain football team. Not a lot of guys are going to step up on him at the goal line there to try to stop him.
Connor Gardner drills the point after try. He's now 33 of 36 on the year, and it's 14-7 at the 4:35 mark. One thing I like about Red Mountain here, they're doing some jawing, but Red Mountain's not taking any of it, and they're just making plays. And when your quarterback's out there telling the other guy, you go on about your business, I just like the toughness and the moxie and the intestinal fortitude of number 7, Hiram Bourne. I've always been a fan of Hiram Bourne, but, man, this is fun on Friday night watching him play football.
Yes, indeed, it's fun. He's a competitor. He's a great young man. Always nice to talk to him. He always has a great attitude, and he's always ready to play football. And he's a very heady football player. And you talk about the composure, that starts at the top, Kevin. That's coached, and that is preached on this football team. We will keep our composure. We are not going to give up silly penalties and silly yardage to the other team.
You know, another guy that plays with a lot of composure, and that's Ben Bray, the Arizona State commit. Great piece written by Yearview and the preparation for their game about Ben Bray and his family and what Arizona State means, and his brother Max here. His brother Max is banged up. He's on crutches right now. He has a very, very deep knee bruise, and they think he'll be out another 5 or 6 weeks, so we hope to get Max Bray back. But Max Bray, his brother Ben, they just play with a chip on their shoulder, but these guys are so smart. They're so eloquent. They're such classy people, and they just play the game the right way. And who knows, maybe someday we'll see both those Braves playing for Herm Edwards. You never know. I mean, it's a pipe dream, but, hey, let's dream a little bit, right?
That's right. That's right. One of them's already going there for sure. So,
I mean, this couldn't happen in Tucson. I mean, let's call it what it is.
I want 4:35 in the second quarter. Let me write that down. Hold on a second.
That's right. The Devils struggled last week against.
They're playing on Friday night
Colorado.
tonight. They're playing tonight, aren't they? What's going on with that?
Yeah, this schedule.
Friday nights for high school.
We
Come
can't
on.
keep
Come
up
on.
with that. We got so much going on here. Here comes Connor Gardner. Ball spot on the 40-yard line. He'll tee it up, and he'll pooch it to the near side. High and over-end kick. Taken by Basha at the 20 to the 30. And he'll leap across to the 35-yard line. Was the return man for the Basha Bears. That time it was 3, Jacob Horner. Horner has a catch in tonight's ball game. Also a nice return there. But, again, you want to limit big plays. Camden Mateen was the guy that beat him last year. They're just not going to let that happen this year.
No, let's hope not. We talked with Kyle Enders before the game. They said they want to keep everything in front of them, and they've let a couple big ones loose here tonight, but they're going to try to stop that from happening here again. And they need a nice defensive series here, and preferably a 3-and-out would be just what the doctor ordered.
Camden Mateen has not made a reception yet tonight. In fact, he's not even on the football field for this particular play, but Zion Williams is. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. It goes Micah Harper, working right to left. Moves his tail back again. Fernandez, low snap, play fake from the pocket, throws outside. The pass is low, and it's picked up there nearly off the turf there by the wide receiver that time. That's Williams. And for the stature of that young man, Williams, I do like his competitive fire. He has a little swag to him, and I'd like to welcome in some late arriving fans here.
How about the quarterback, though, Micah Harper? He drives on that football, doesn't he? I mean, the follow-through, it's just remarkable.
He's got a good arm. But he throws the ball wide quite a bit. I think he has opportunities to go on the middle of the field in between the hash marks. And I as a fan, I like to see him keep going outside, but I think where he could do damage is down the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's gotten them a couple times on that so far tonight.
2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. It's Harper under pressure again. He breaks a tackle. He throws deep, and the ball's incomplete. He was going for Camacho that time, but stride for stride with the coverage on Camacho was Cole Shivers. And Red Mountain applying pressure. I think it was Cole Loria who just missed that sack, and Cole is ever so close. But Cole missed some practice time this week. We didn't know if he was going to suit up and play tonight, but it's good to see 47 out there and give him a hurry.
Talk about a contributor. Cole Loria has been a big contributor on this Red Mountain defense so far this year. And the quarterback, Micah Harper, just barely able to escape that tackle there in the backfield from Cole Loria and get out to the outside. But more pressure was coming, and I think he had to hurry up and get rid of that football.
3 wide receivers to the wide side for Micah Harper. Now we get a play up front here. You've got 11. Caden Camacho trying to intimidate 21 Cole Shivers, the freshman. And Cole Shivers wouldn't have anything to do with it. And Cole Shivers will be heading up to play this next play, as Camacho will now have to sit out this play. So let's see if Camden Mateen is on the field. So Mateen's not on the field. Stepping in now for Camacho is Trent Pennington. 3rd and 15 from the 30-yard line of the Basha Bears. Big play here, possession play for the Mountain Line defense. 4 down linemen. Fernandez again flanked to the left of Micah Harper. Takes the snap. Here comes Laurie with the pressure. He throws deep. Again, it's Harper looking for Williams, and the ball's caught out of bounds on the 40-yard line. That time with the coverage, it looked like Georgie Ramirez was over on that side of the field. And Nas Bryant also there in the area defensively. And there's a nice job there. Applying pressure from the backside and back-to-back plays was 47. Cole Laurier's did it again.
And Cole Lauria not only forced the quarterback out of the pocket, but he was able to get a little bit of a shot on him there as well as he released the football. And that one just kind of floated a little bit too far and outside, and he was unable to haul it in and get the feet down in time to get him in bounds.
Another penalty marker thrown on that play, and this one's going to go against Basha, and I can see Mike Peterson instructing some of his coaches on the near sideline. You got to figure some of that conversation is about keeping your composure. This football team needs to stay within themselves here tonight, and there's no question that they are in this game and have a chance to improve to 5-1 and keep that Super 8 season, that Super 8 hopes alive. Here comes Georgie on the block punt attempt. He tried to get that one. He only has 5 on the year. Can you even think of a situation, and Dylan Kelly was a special teams extraordinaire, right? Dylan Kelly he blocked 2 punts in one season. We thought that was phenomenal. Georgie Ramirez has blocked 5 punts this season. One, he's returned for a scoop and score. He has a pick 6. He has 2 defensive touchdowns.
And we're only halfway through.
And we are halfway through. This is game number 6 on the 10-game docket.
That's hard to believe in itself.
Time is flying. Red Mountain will take their offense back on the field. 919 in pass yard. It's good for 17th. Their 13th. Their 13 touchdown passes make them 7th in the 6A conference. So 4:03 to go to halftime, and somebody is going to take a timeout.
Do we have a schedule yet on that the Open 8 playoff, Kevin, or maybe that'll come out
no schedule just
as we
yet.
get closer to the end of the regular season?
No schedule just yet, but you have to look at the opportunities that Red Mountain has right here this evening. Football fans, listen to the Red Mountain football broadcast team of myself and James Poovey, home and away on Red Mountain TV and on YouTube. Download the app now and listen to the game tonight. Bring your headphones to the game and tune in to Red Mountain football on YouTube.
Listen to the Lions Den podcast with head coach Mike Peterson each week with show host Kevin Derryberry. Enjoy conversation with Coach Peterson about tonight's game against Basha. And Chalk Talk, the Parker & Sons Lions Den's Varsity Player of the Week, and a preview of next week's opponent, the Skyline Coyotes. The Lions Den podcast every week with Coach Pete.
I like it, JP.
Coach Pete.
Football fans, Dry Force Restoration Specialists are the top-rated restoration team in the Valley, whether it be fire damage, water damage, or mold. Our dedicated team of trained, detailed professionals are committed to help you restore the roar. Locally owned and operated for 17 years, Dry Force Restoration. Call 480-813-000 or go to dryforce.net. Bourne on a play fake, wants to throw, now he wants to run. 30, 35, 40, down the sideline, and it'll be pushed out of bounds around the 45-yard line. Nice run there by Hiram Bourne, and here comes another penalty flag as Zion Williams was on the Red Mountain sideline, having words with Jackson Beecher, and right now the lip service from the Basha Bears is going to cost them, and you can see Williams having to be restrained there by one of his teammates. In there making things good with everybody is Charles Gilbert, and you talk about learning how to wear eye black. I saw Charles Gilbert before the game. He was wearing his eye black like the old Vikings John Randall, and he looked dirty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, he's keeping the composure right now for this Red Mountain defense, and I got to tell you, if number 2 doesn't be careful, he's going to give up a lot of yardage here tonight. Easy yards to this Mountain Lion football team, who is already charged up right now, up 14-7. He better get a grip.
And look how heady the quarterback, Micah Harper, is. He's given the business to Williams, and that is going to cost him 15 yards. And in this type of game, in a game that Basha needs desperately, in a game that Red Mountain needs desperately, there's no room for that kind of extracurricular behavior, and it's going to cost you tonight. This officiating team has laid the foundation early that it's their jurisdiction. Whether we like the calls or not, they're not letting them go with that extra nonsense tonight. No business this evening.
Nope, they're not having it, and it's good. They got to be consistent. That's all you can ask from an officiating crew is consistency.
So now Hiram Bourne has the ball on the 38-yard line. He'll take the shotgun snap. He's going to run it. Horn, big hole. And Bourne continues to bob and weave down the field. He just went right up the middle of the field, and he didn't get touched until he got inside the 25-yard line. He was finally knocked down. Looked like Andrell Barney was one guy in the area defensively to trip up Hiram Bourne. Gain of 12 on the play, right up the middle. A lot of design runs here for Hiram Bourne. He's an effective runner. Bourne with a shotgun snap, wants the end zone. Instead, he'll throw it underneath to Jackson Beecher. Beecher makes a nice play, and Beecher makes the catch. And one thing about Jackson Beecher, he just knows what his role is, and he's working on the speed. He's a great target, and he's got sure hands.
He's got great hands, and you know what else about Jackson Beecher? He runs great routes too, Kevin. Always crisp, gets out of his breaks really well, and a big target there for Hiram Bourne.
Big target, like 6'3", 180. Him and Jared Wilson are two specimen, and both those guys feed off one another, and both those guys really not on the offensive radar a season ago, but they have emerged this year, and now they're main factors in this offense. 9-yard pickup there from Jackson Beecher from Hiram Bourne. 2nd and 1 on the 12-yard line. Now we're going to get a penalty marker coming in. This is a delay of game assessed to Red Mountain. Ty McElroy is the lone tailback. So a penalty marker assessed to Red Mountain is a delay of game. That's a 5-yard penalty. And you wonder when that clock started to wind, James.
Yeah, not really sure about that one there. I was watching Costin Cooley trying to get everybody lined up, calling out the possible stunts by the defense up front there, maybe take a couple extra seconds.
We have a special guest at halftime. Tressa Tudrick will join us. And there is Ty McElroy going up the middle, bulldozing his way, barreling into the end zone, 17 yards away for the Red Mountain touchdown. Ty McElroy getting it done, breaking tackles, and wow, what a punishing run by T-Mac.
Always a punishing run there for Ty McElroy. What a great job going off the offensive guard on the right-hand side there. And that's just power football right up the middle. The guys try to get up to the second level, scrape to those linebackers, and clear out the hole there for Ty McElroy.
How about it for T-Mac? His 15th rushing touchdown in his career.
And how about that right there? And number 14, Jared Wilson. That ball was snapped. It rolled all the way to him, Kevin. Able to get it, get the hold down. Connor Gardner right through the uprights. What a nice job.
Jared Wilson is spectacular. His hands, we talk about JB, Jackson Beecher, having sure hands. Jared Wilson has the best hands on the team, and that's why he's the holder, and he's doing a nice job working with our new long snapper, and that is Christian Krager. Krager playing for the injured Max Brace, so it's a new unit, and they got their timing down. The kick was good, but as you saw right there, that was a bot snap, and Jared Wilson, a great job and great poise and composure to get that ball up there for CG. For CG 11.
Ice water in the veins there for Jay Willie. Great job.
3:21 to go. It's 21-7. Connor Gardner 3 for 3 in point after tries here tonight.
Red Sea traveling well tonight out here to Basha. That's good to see.
Good crowd on hand on a glorious evening as Red Mountain leads it by 2 touchdowns with 3:21 to go to halftime as Connor Gardner will set up the ball on the 40-yard line on the far hash mark. What a run by Ty McElroy. His 5th touchdown run of the season for T-Mac. And for Ty McElroy, as I mentioned, his 15th touchdown run of his career. And there's another pooch kick and a lot of hard hitting going on right around the 35-yard line that time. We talk about the intensity of this game picking up. These guys are going after one another now, and the hitting is fierce right now.
Yeah, they're getting after it in the middle, especially in really on special teams right now. Everyone's filling the holes for Red Mountain on defense, and Bash is hitting hard as well. So it's been an exciting first half.
3:16 to go to the break. We started to tell you before Ty McElroy just ripped off that 17-yard touchdown run. Tressa Tudrick from Channel 5, Arizona's family, Channel 3, Channel 5 will join us here.
Varsity zone.
Break. Red Mountain showing blitz. Harper, long count, takes the snap, runs it to Fernandez up the middle, breaks a tackle, and has his best run of the night. Just rips off about 8 yards right up the middle on this Red Mountain defense for Andrew Fernandez. 9 carries, 44 yards. Receiving the football for Fernandez, but he's their leading rusher with 49 carries, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season for Chris McDonald. Now in just his second year. Basha is 62-45 in the last decade. Here's Harper on the option. Red Mountain nearly snuffed that one out, and it looked like there's a fumble on the play. All kinds of chaos going on, bodies flying everywhere. And the ball was fumbled on the play. It was an option right, penalty marker on the play. And it looked like Georgia Ramirez, tailing the play, dove for the ball carrier and stripped the football.
That's exactly what it was, Kevin. But before that, Trey the True Smith getting in there and applying the pressure once again from his defensive end spot. What a game he's having here tonight at Basha.
There is no answer offensively up front for Basha. Basha does start a freshman on their offensive line. That's James Durand. Durand 6'3" on that offensive line. There's some big boys up there with A.J. Bunn and Matt DiPodesta and company, Will Briggs. Those guys are just dirty, dirty. Mikey Sliskovich also plays both ways. So on the field right now, it is Barney at one wide receiver spot. No, Barney's going to line up at tailback now. To the near side, it's Pennington. Micah Harper takes the shotgun snap from the pocket, steps up in the pocket. Now he wants to run. Micah Harper still on his feet. Harper to the 40, 45, turns the corner at the 50. And he'll run out of bounds on the 42-yard line. Perhaps he was a little slow to finish that play, was Micah Harper. I'm not sure if he might have injured himself a little bit there, but he slowed down a little bit. Instead of turning on the jets and turning around the corner on the boundary, he ran out of bounds, and he looks a little bit ginger right now. That's Micah Harper, the quarterback. They can ill afford to lose him.
Oh, indeed. He looks like he's trying to work out maybe something, a little cramp
maybe.
Possibly, or whatever. He ran a lot on that play there, Kevin.
Here comes Costin Cooley back in the football game. He'll play nose tackle.
CC.
C squared. So after that play, 22-yard run from Micah Harper. And there was movement there. That's the tailback. He moved late. So Andrell Barney is going to cost his football team 5 yards unless Chris McDonald takes a timeout before, and he did just that. So 1:59 to go on this one in the first half, James. It's 21-7 Red Mountain. And for the Mountain Lions, they're kind of doing what they want to do. They like to score a lot of points, and they're keeping the big plays by the Basha Bears right there on the sideline.
Yeah, it seems like every time Basha gets things going offensively, they kind of end up shooting themselves in the foot, either with a penalty or maybe a miscue. They've had a couple of near fumbles, near fumble recoveries for Red Mountain tonight. So Red Mountain just got to keep doing what they do right now and try to get into this halftime and not let Basha get too much further down the football field and get any points on the board.
Well, for the Basha Bears, their region play begins next week, and it's going to get really, really stiff for them competition-wise. They'll be at Hamilton next week. Ooh. Then they get Chandler and Brophy and Perry.
All on the road.
All 4 of those on the road for the Basha Bears. That's a tough draw right there. Harper, low snap, pressured, and he's going to get drilled. He's sacked again. Let's see who it was. I think I know, and we'll tell you. Double eights. Trey Smith, his third sack of the first half, and that time he got to the quarterback and he delivered a pop on him, didn't he?
He did indeed, and you know why he was able to do that? Because number 54, Jake Smith, drove his offensive lineman back into the lap of the quarterback that time and disrupted the play. What team defense that time for Red Mountain. Excellent job.
Griff, he's also wreaking havoc in there. 54, second and 13 on the 44-yard line. Micah Harper looking left. He throws quickly. The pass is behind his wide receiver. He had to throw quickly because the pressure was coming again. The truth on the hunt one more time. And you look at Trey Smith working on that right side. The right tackle, Matt DePodesta, 6 foot 228. Right now he needs help to defend Trey Smith.
Yeah, they don't have an answer for Trey Smith on the edge. And right now, Jake Griffin doing a great job again. Once again, full extension up front, driving that offensive lineman backwards. He knocked the quarterback backwards once again.
So Williams back in the game. So Zion Williams back in. Also in on that wide receiver group is Jacob Horner. He'll line up in the slot. 4 wide receivers now for the Basha Bears. Harper out of the pistol, back to throw. He's pressured. He throws outside to Fernandez, makes the catch, and Fernandez will run out of bounds after pursuit by Skylar Edmonds, and that'll be about a 10-yard reception for Fernandez. Nice job there by Micah Harper, again, with all kinds of tacklers and pass rushers in his face. Showed a little poise, just dumped it out in the flat, and Fernandez made a nice run.
He did. Showed a great amount of poise, able to hit the check down there because pressure was coming off the edge that time once again from Red Mountain's defensive line, and Micah Harper just had to throw it over the head of the defender and get it out there complete into the flat for a little bit of a pickup.
Credit Skylar Edmonds with the force out. This will be 4th and 5 from the 36-yard line. Lining up to the near side is Jace Patton. Fernandez flanked to the left to Harper. Harper back to throw. Harper looks like he might want to run it. Now he's going to stop and throw it down the field, looking for the home run ball, and the ball's incomplete. And here comes the penalty flag as the cornerback might have been all over the wide receiver. Tough break right there. I thought the official was in the back of the spot he needed to be in to see that clearly, but tough call there. The wide receiver dropped the football, and I think that was the before-mentioned Jace Patton. So what I take away from that play, James, is the arm strength for Micah Harper and his ability to throw the ball on the run. He's talented. He's got to have some players around him pick up their game tonight, because
he's been able to show his perimeter game tonight because he's had to, Kevin. He's been flushed out of the pocket so many times, but the guy has excellent poise, especially out on the edge, and able to still find an open receiver and get the ball down the field. Great coverage that time for Red Mountain. He might have been a little bit too close there for comfort, but again, you said the guy was on the wrong side to make that call.
So after the penalty yardage is marked off, it's 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. The Basha Bears get a golden opportunity on a play fake. Harper looking for the end zone. Flushed out, going for the end zone. The ball is incomplete. Trying to make a one-handed catch. That time for Basha was Jacob Horner, and Horner couldn't haul that one in. And let's just see if there are any penalty markers down, and there are. There's another penalty on that particular play.
That might be in the area of holding. We'll see here, Kevin.
So for Horner, coming into tonight's ball game, he had not made a reception. Between him and Cody, they made their first receptions of the year here. So we're inside 60 seconds to go. Red Mountain leads it 21-7.
Illegal man downfield was the last call there.
We'll take the penalty, a little tit for tat perhaps. And you got to figure that was some sort of a makeup type as you see Cody go in motion. Harper takes the low snap. Now he's going to run the football, and he's still on his feet, and he's going to get dropped after about a 3-yard gain. Good defense there by Parker McClure and friends to get things done. And Mike Backer up there to make the spot. And for Harper, a modest gain. We'll give him 3 as Williams lines up to the far side. So they stack up 2 wide receivers on the far boundary. Fernandez will line up flank to the right of Harper. Harper under a blitz. He throws, and it's incomplete. Harper just missed the wide receiver. Nas Bryant in coverage there with the very tall Trent Pennington. Pennington 6'2", 175, working on a Nas Bryant. Bryant 5'10", a junior. He told me his shoulder is 100%. He's sound. He's good to go the rest of the way. Nas Bryant.
Yeah, Nas has made some contributions as well to this Red Mountain team this year, and we'll look to get some more of that from him. and he can do even better. We know it.
Micah Harper comes out of a squat position on the sideline. That tells me that he's trying to stretch out just a little bit. Micah Harper here, faced with a 3rd and 12 on the 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the wide side. Red Mountain stems their defense just a little bit. Harper takes the shotgun snap, looks left, steps up in the pocket. Here comes the pressure. He throws as he hit, and the ball is caught around the 15-yard line. And Harper was hit by either Jake Griffin or Trey Smith as he let go of the football. 2 of the bookend defensive ends for Red Mountain, again on the hunt on that pass rush.
Yeah, they're putting a hurting right now on Micah Harper. Pressure coming from all angles in front of him this time. And what a great job getting off the block there and getting in the backfield. And once again, just putting that lick on Micah Harper.
That was a smart play, and we're going to see what the result of that is here with 13 seconds to go. We get a timeout taken on the field. Chris McDonald now trying to nurse the clock here as the Basha Bears want to get some points here on this particular drive. They at least want to get 7 points here if they can.
Well, if you're Red Mountain, you want to hold them out here up 21-7. It'd be great to go in the locker room with a 14-point lead, able to make some halftime adjustments and come out here and really put the pedal down in the second half.
I saw Daniel the Beast Butler warming up before the ball game tonight wearing USC gloves. And you're like, hey, where are you getting the USC gear? Because we got to get you some Sun Devil gear. He's like, oh, I get all my USC gear from A.J. Migneo. So the big fella, A.J. Migneo, a walk-on at USC. Now he's working on himself a scholarship. All right, ball's going to be spotted on the
Here we go.
13-yard line. This will be a 30-yard attempt for Derek Bass from the right hash. The snap is down, the kick's blocked. The kick's blocked. And Red Mountain's going to block the kick because Costin Cooley blocked the kick. The Air Force commit blocked the kick, and his grandparents are here. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, young man.
Costin Cooley.
Outstanding job. Did you see him get in there, Kevin? Just up in the air, raise up, and knock that football down. Outstanding job.
Big play there. That was clutch, and it looks like time has expired. And now hold everything. The referee came out to make a call, and they're going to say it's good, and time has expired here. The first 24 minutes in the books. Wow, what a conclusion to the first half. The Red Mountain defense stiffens, and let's get these teams off the football field before anything out of the ordinary would happen here. We'll take a break, and joining us up next from Arizona Families, Channel 3, Channel 5, Tressa Tudrick will join us on the program right after this. It's halftime from Jim Walsh Stadium on the campus of Basha High. Red Mountain 21, Basha 7.
for ASU.
We welcome you back at halftime. Kevin Derryberry alongside Tressa Tudrick. It's 21-7. The Red Mountain Mountain Lions lead the Basha Bears here at Jim Wall Stadium, and we are so privileged and joined by the very talented reporter. I don't even know if that's right. You're a news reporter. You're a journalist. You're a journalist. That's what you are.
Why,
From
thank
AZ
you.
Family, Varsity Zone. Tressa Tudrick joins us on the program. This is your second appearance on the Red Mountain broadcast.
I feel very privileged. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, absolutely. We welcome you. So lots changed since we last talked to you and we last
Yes.
saw you. So let's get to the fun stuff first. Congratulations. You are now a married woman.
Thank you.
That's
I
awesome.
do enjoy being a missus.
The missus, yes. And you're also raising a little one and doing that kind of stuff. So these
Yes.
family endeavors, right?
I am a built-in mother now to a
Immediately.
7-year-old daughter. Yes, immediately, just right to it.
There's nothing like just going into it right now. There's
Yeah,
no
hands-on.
preparation needed.
No. Who needs a book?
Then you also have a new job. You were with our good friends at Channel 12. Now you're with
Yes.
Arizona Family. Now you're leading the Varsity Zone charge. And
That's
what
right.
a game we have tonight, a game that you're featuring on Channel 3 at 10:40 tonight.
Yes.
What can you tell us about what you've seen out of my Mountain Lions here in the first half?
Okay, so this is a great game for our Varsity Zone game of the week.
Right.
It's a little, when things started, I was like, okay, so we're not going to have a lot of defense. Okay, we're just going to run up and down the field. All right, but then there were a lot of different passes broken up, and then the most effective thing I've seen the Mountain Lions do is just run up the gut, right up in the middle. Who were you raging about, number 5?
Yeah, Deontay Elliott. Yeah, this guy, he scored
That guy's got wheels.
He's got a lot of scoots. He's a transfer from Desert Ridge a couple of years back. So believe it or not, Tressa, he made his debut with Red Mountain 1 year ago tonight, if you will. 25 carries, a $136 in his first ever game in the as a member of the Red Mountain Lions. And tonight he's not disappointing. He's close to the century mark here again with another impressive touchdown run. His 20th
Yes.
of his career here at Red Mountain.
Well, that's quite the celebration, and he's just been an effective force for this Red Mountains offense, and it's just been fun to watch, seeing it go back and forth. Those 2 touchdowns scored in the second quarter, I think really, especially when they blocked that field goal right there, really just set things off to excite this team heading into the locker room.
The block field goal right there was incredible.
Yes.
A little background story for that. That was Colston Cooley. Here's our nose tackle. He plays as the lead center, so he calls all the plays on offense as far as the calls, the protection
Okay.
coverages. So he'll play a little D, about 6 to 10 plays a game. Well, today's his birthday, and he blocked the field goal on his birthday, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, what a present
Yeah.
there. Okay.
76, you might have a little chat with him later on
Yes.
if Red Mountain can finish the deal, because we always kind of look forward to the end of your broadcast when you have the teams there
Yes.
and you're kind of asking them questions and you're just getting the guys fired up that already were fired up with tons of testosterone right there.
You know what? I do honestly have the best job ever because I'm A, always talking to the winners, and B, they're always delighted to talk to me because I always
Sure.
want to ask them good things and make them look good and put them on television and celebrate Arizona high school football.
So just to play devil's advocate, have
Devil's
you ever have anybody that's not eager to talk to you? I mean, does that ever happen on a rare occasion?
Not particularly. I haven't run into it yet in the few years I've been doing this.
Right.
So it would be a first. I would be kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. Can we make this really quick if that would happen? But hopefully tonight, whether it be Basha or Red Mountain, we have a team
I
that wants
couldn't
to
really
talk to
see
me.
it. I really couldn't see anybody not wanting to talk to you for any reason.
We have a good time.
One fun point. The game started to kind of take on a little chippiness in the second
Yes.
quarter, and one of the reasons is because Zion Williams, who had that 53-yard touchdown, the answer TD.
That's right.
Great play by Micah Harper. But the game's kind of taken on a new life. These guys are getting a little more physical. They're popping each other. You've seen a few more penalty markers thrown. But that block kick was big from an emotional pendulum swing because Williams is starting to get a little bit
Heat up a little bit.
lippy, if you will, and cost himself 15 yards. And really it might have cost him that drive because of them starting to do the extracurricular things.
You know, especially you look at both teams, 4-1. They don't want to lose. They don't want to, kind of sit in the back seat in the 6A division because you look at the division right now and how it's looking. And Red Mountain, you were just exactly right there. The emotions heading in, they're going to come out in the second half and just be fired up to go. When you have a play like that, that's one of those, that's like almost like a buzzer beater in
Yes.
a basketball game
Right.
where you're just like so lit. And you're right about Zion Williams. That was a great touchdown, but Yeah, I think the favor could go in Red Mountain's direction just based off of that emotion, but I think you have to stay grounded. You can't allow any silly penalties to get in the
Right.
way. You have the emotions, but I've loved what Herm Edwards has said. He wants players that aren't emotional but passionate, because when you're
Right.
passionate, you don't make mistakes. When you're emotional, you can, say something you regret or do something that is out of character. So if you're
Absolutely.
passionate, you kind of keep those boundaries.
No question about it. Now, I want to talk about my Devils, but I wanted to just share one other point.
Sure.
Mike Peterson and I do a coaches show each and every week called The Lion's Den, and one of the points that Coach Peterson always brings up is about the old Uncle Mo. And so old Uncle Mo now is in the Red Mountain locker room. We'll see what happens in the second half. But you mentioned a buzzword for me, being a Sun Devil for a long time.
Yes.
25-year season ticket holder. I think I told you that last time we had John, but I like to say that for
Why
my U of A,
not?
for my U of A buddy. But tell me what you think about Arizona State. I know they're 7-7 here tonight against Cal and Berkeley,
Yes.
but the big win in East Lansing, you probably followed the team after that. What was it like for them, for those young kids, to win that game in East Lansing and then take it to the Colorado game?
I was telling my husband, I was like, you know what? When we look back at Jaden Daniels' career, and if it shoots off and projects the way we're expecting it to, that's going to be the defining moment for him as a Sun Devil quarterback, is when he had, that game-winning drive, the last minute to just, give it to the Michigan State Spartans in their, in their terrain.
Yes.
And to have that kind of composure as a true freshman quarterback, not to mention playing with a left tackle who's only 17 years old. He's not even legal, and he's making all kinds of blocks for Jaden Daniels. So I think the greatest thing about him, too, is I asked Coach, I was like, alrighty, so how did Jaden respond to his first loss against Colorado to open Pac-12 play? And he's like, you know what? He took off his shoulder pads and he said, that's on me. He just accepted responsibility, the composure that he has, and his persona that he doesn't act like a true freshman. And he never says he's a freshman. He always says, he doesn't think of himself as a freshman. And you really see that, especially right now as they're playing Cal on the road. Teams that play on a Friday night on the road have the odds are stacked against them heavily, especially in Pac-12 play. So if they come out with this win, this is essentially going to keep them in projections and in talks with, are they going to play in a relevant bowl game, or is it just going to be, a so-so bowl, or could it actually have meaning? So it'll be interesting.
I think Herm Edwards would like nothing short of to win a national championship at Arizona State. Got a long way to go.
Yes.
But when you see this young quarterback coming on, who does that? What kind of freshman quarterback says, hey, that's all me? His accountability is utterly amazing. Kind of a funny note here. We got to get our Daniels straightened out right here. So we have a Jalen Daniels on our team. He's a sophomore.
He does a lot of good in the community.
Can you imagine? So we have both these Daniels. We have Jalen and Jaden. Both these guys are going to be around on the Arizona circuit playing football for a long time to come. And we're blessed to have this kind of talent here in the great state 48.
I've loved seeing just in the last few years that I've been covering Arizona football in the Valley, just how much it's grown. People are starting to notice, especially you look at in the quarterbacks rotation, quarterbacks getting, offers to big, Big Ten schools, Pac-12 offers, and just the talent here is growing, and people aren't just thinking of California, aren't just considering Texas, but looking at Arizona. I was out at a Saguaro game, and there were 3 different, top elite programs there just scouting kids. I was that was the Saguaro Chaparral game, so it was at Chaparral, but there were still quite a few different colleges, and just around the Valley. Putting your tape out now is so easy. You just tweet your huddle video, and it's just exciting to see football grow here, especially, in the last, I'd say, 15 years especially.
We're visiting with Tressa Tudrick for the Varsity Zone, of course, AZ Family on Channel 3 and Channel 5. My last one for you, Tressa.
Yes.
We got this new Super 8 conference, this open division, if you will.
Yes.
And most recently, in the most recent ArizonaVarsity.com Ocho read, if you will, of their column, they've got Red Mountain number 8 right now. When you look at the grand scheme of things, how has the Super 8 and the coverage of the Super 8 kind of changed how you do things, and it's kind of raised some excitement around high school football here in Arizona?
No doubt about it. I think for fans that aren't Saguaro or Centennial or Chandler, they're excited to see these teams who, have championship after championship after championship compete. Like, okay, who really is the best team in the Valley.
Sure.
So I think to have that kind of bragging right, like, not just in 6A, not just 4A, not just 5A, but of all of Arizona, I think that's going to be the ultimate bragging right for teams to come, because it's like, that's great, you won in your conference or whatever, but if you could take the top elite spot, I'm really excited to see that open division and just get that, competition that people have been asking for.
Yes. Quick feel on Saguaro.
Yes.
You saw them come from behind to beat a good Chaparral team. That's been a great rivalry for years.
Yes.
Saguaro in the 4A conference, they've just dominated. What are we at, 6, Pete, now? 7?
Yeah, they're going
crazy?
for 7.
Yeah, 7 is heaven. I mean, we're running out of the
Sayings
vernacular
for
it.
it, right? Yes.
Yeah, but what was your takeaway seeing Saguaro up close and personal? Keely Ringo, among others, just, man, standouts.
I don't know. This is a thought that just came into my head, so forgive me if it's a little extreme, but when I think of the New England Patriots, and I think you can never outrule them until the last play in the final quarter of the game, right?
Yes.
Same thing goes for Saguaro. So they can be down, sure thing, but they're going to come back and do something because, A, they have the depth and the talent to do so. So their second string guy is probably going to be a starter somewhere else,
Sure.
but to have him in that rotation, so Keely Ringo and himself, if he cuts outside, there's nobody stopping him. He's one of the fastest corners in the state, so
really
in the country.
He's
not even just in the state. So Keely Ringo, when he puts on the Jets, it's like, yeah, forget about that. So just their talent level hasn't ceased or dropped at all. You look at, they just had Byron Murphy, DJ Foster, and Christian Kirk out at Saguaro doing a community event. 3 Arizona Cardinals that formerly went to Saguaro. Just to have
amazing.
that kind of elite talent, what kind of bragging point is that for Arizona football?
there's not a lot that can, at least in the what have you done for me lately scenario.
Yes.
Those 3 guys have been here recently.
And they
Christian
love
Kirk
Saguaro.
just rewrote the history books in the great state of Arizona. And Byron Murphy, what a career he had at Washington. So it's been a lot of fun. Tressa, thanks so much. We welcome you back doing what you always do. You're a huge addition to Channel 5. And say hello to Mark McClune, good guy over there. And God bless you, my dear. Good luck to you down the road.
We'll
and
shake hands. Nobody can see it.
We'll keep watching. We'll keep cheering on the Devils. And we'll see you at a high school venue near you soon.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, in fact, I'll see you at Fry's.
Okay, you got it.
Tressa Tudrick, our guest. All right, more with James and I at halftime. Red Mountain leads at 21-7. 2 minutes to go. We'll be right back. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network.
There.
We join you from Jim Walsh Stadium on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. 21-7. Connor Gardner tees this one up and sends this high, deep, end over end, and taking about 7 yards deep in the end zone is Zion Williams. Halftime is over, and we are back with you for the second half. Kevin Derrybear alongside James Poovey. We talked about old Uncle Mo on the halftime segment with Tressa Tudrick. And the fact remains is Costin Cooley blocking that kick on his birthday. That sent Red Mountain into halftime with old Uncle Mo. Let's see what they can't do to build on that here in the second half.
Yeah, great to come out of the locker room for the second half, up 14 points, get to play a little defense first. They would love nothing more than a 3-and-out here to get the second half started for Red Mountain.
So it'll be Micah Harper. Joining him in the backfield is Andrell Barney. There goes Horner in motion. They want to run it to Barney, and Barney breaks a tackle. Now he bounces it to the outside. Bryant has an angle on him. He goes right by Bryant. Down the sideline, it's Barney. Steps inside the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, 80 yards. Andrell Barney, 80 yards on the touchdown. There are no penalty markers on the field. This one is going to hold up.
How about that? And how about that block laid there by number 2 on the end of that play? Zion Williams cleaning out a guy for Red Mountain and springing the guy into the end zone for the touchdown. What a play, what a run up the sideline.
You talk about an edge block, a seal block, if you will. You use the term form tackle. That was just a square, full-on, knock him on the keister kind of block. Got the edge, and it looked like maybe he started to step out of balance around the 40-yard line, put in that second gear, and he took it down the sideline, and Red Mountain gives up a huge play here to open this second half. And hopefully we didn't get too jazzy at the halftime there with all the festivities that could come for Red Mountain post-game. But after that big run by Barney, 80-yard touchdown run, it is now 21-14 as Derek Bass drills the 1 point after it. Old Uncle Mo has just swung to the other side. Now the Basha Bears have the mojo.
Yeah, that was a heck of a run there that time, and that's exactly what you don't want if you're Red Mountain, to come out here and give up a big play, big touchdown like that, and give a spark to that Basha Bears football team. So now, if you're Red Mountain, you're going to have to go out here and get something going on the offensive side and go back and answer that score.
For Barney, before that run, he had 2 carries for 21 yards. He just took one to the distance, 80 yards. That is a heck of a story to tell anybody in your family. An 80-yard touchdown run at the 6A conference in a big game like this, when we're talking Super 8 and all kinds of other things.
Oh, yes.
How about it? 11:42 to go. And what happened to the crowd? Seemed like that was a long halftime, JP.
It was quite a bit of a halftime there. Enjoyable one, but they're ready to get it going here in the second half, and the crowd will come back to life. They're still making their way back from the snack bar on the far side over there,
so
Kevin.
Red Mountain's going to have to dig down deep. Micah Harper, an all-region first-teamer from a season ago. We have not mentioned Camden Mateen. And Mateen, instrumental in that victory a year ago for Basha. And one thing that you have to be guarded for, if you will, James, is that Red Mountain had that lead last year against Basha, and they couldn't hold on to the lead. So they've got to be careful here and add to this offense and continue to shore up and making adjustments defensively. But tonight, it's been the big play that's gotten Basha those 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Red Mountain's going to have to be cognizant of the Basha Bears for all 48 minutes here tonight, because they're coming to play, and they're opening up the second half in fine fashion with that long touchdown run there to get back in and make this a 1-score ball game.
That was huge for Basha. Basha is a different offense under Micah Harper than they are under Gabe Friend. The Bears finished year 1 under the Chris McDonald era, 6-5 after that 38-21 first-round defeat to Perry. You might remember Basha had to play Perry week 10 and week 11 last year. That's a tough road to hoe, as the Basha Bears lost their final 4 games of the season last year under Chris McDonald. But so it's 21-14. It seems like a tremendous delay here to put the ball in play. So back deep for Red Mountain, it'll be Carrington and Daniel Butler. So no Villanueva, no Rivera back there. It'll have to be Carrington or Butler, and they seem like they want to put the ball in the hands of Daniel Butler. So this is Bass, high, deep, and it'll be Butler from his own 5 to the 10, 15. Bounce to the outside, 30-yard line, and is going to be knocked down to the ground there. Looked like coming up to make that special teams tackle was Jace Patton. Plays a little linebacker, 6'2", $180, his 8th tackle of the year. And Red Mountain will go to work here. It seems like they're trailing, but they lead by a touchdown here, James.
Yeah, a little bit of not a whole lot of momentum here on the sideline right now for Red Mountain, but they're going to get it going. And this offense will give them a spark and get this crowd back in this football game.
Let's see what the marching orders are for Hiram Bourne here in the second half. Ball spotted on the 26-yard line. Working right to left. There goes Connor Gardner in motion. And Gardner makes the catch. That's his first varsity reception for Connor Gardner. And he gets dropped there by Zion Williams. And the only thing I don't like about that play is why Zion Williams has to go for more lip service after making a play. Make the nice play and then get back to the huddle. There's no reason to talk and jab on each play. And as he continues to run his mouth towards that Red Mountain sideline, it's going to cost him as we roll down this game. And I'd like to see somebody beat him on the big play here as Gardner lines up. He's stacked to the near side. Bourne will run it with Ty McElroy. Ty McElroy bounces out of a tackle, spins out of one. He's at the 40, down the sideline, 50, with Gardner in front of him, 30, cuts across the field, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Ty McElroy. 74-yard house call for Ty McElroy.
Where's 2 at now? Where's 2 at now, Kevin? How about that carry for Ty McElroy? Blockers going all the way down the field, just taking it, being patient with it, letting the blocks set up. An excellent run and an excellent job answering the bell there for Red Mountain.
Unbelievable run by Ty McElroy. He would not go down, breaking tackles, the nice spin move in the middle of the football field, and then Connor Gardner and company with a convoy down the sideline, and then the cutback to the center of the field, and then the angle towards the goal line for Ty McElroy. Good snap, good hold, and Connor Gardner drills the point after try. 10:44 to go in this football game in the third quarter. Our score, Red Mountain 28, Basha 14. What a run, the longest run of his career for Ty McElroy. And a good little fun fact for you for Ty McElroy. Does he get up for the Basha Bears or does he get up for the Basha Bears? For Ty McElroy, way back in the day, right here on this field, Ty McElroy had his career outing. For T-Mac, he had 29 carries for 171 yards in his first varsity touchdown on this field 2 years ago. Welcome back, Ty McElroy.
Welcome back, T-Mac. Excellent job. And guess what, Kevin? He's far from done because we got 10:44 left here in the third.
74-yard run for Ty McElroy. For T-Mac, he has 5 100-yard rushing games. He's on his way for his 6th. And for T-Mac, a big touchdown run. That's his 15th rushing touchdown in his career. And you mentioned Zion Williams talking it to the sideline, and who would know that on the very next snap of the football, you house one running to his side. The lip service backfired right there.
Just a tiny bit. But I tell you what, a great setup there. Offensive line provided great protection up front. T-Mac able to get to the edge, and then it was just follow the blockers all the way to the end zone.
So, old Uncle Mo and the pendulum has swung back towards Red Mountain now. And what looked like just a horrible play going the other way for their big touchdown run. For Barney, the answer again, it's 28-14. Mountain Lions back in front and back in charge. Micah Harper working out of the pistol formation. They run a play fake. Now they run to Williams. Williams to the screen. Bounce to the outside 40. Look out. 50 with speed. Down the sideline. 40. 30. Can anybody catch him? 20. 10. 5. Touchdown. 80-yard house call for Zion Williams. His second touchdown of the night. And now the track meet has begun.
Unbelievable, Kevin. How about that?
For Williams, he has plays of 53 yards and 80 yards. 133 yards on 2 receptions for Zion Williams. And it's now 28-20 extra point pending They're going to have to play some defense if you want to win this football game either side.
Well, they're going to have to stop the big plays because right now it's going to be who's going to score last.
Big plays all over the place. And that's a nice delivery of the football by Micah Harper, his second touchdown pass of this ball game. And, boy, Red Mountain has given up 160 yards right near there in the last 2 plays alone. Whew.
That's going to look really good on Micah Harper's stat sheet, but not on the Red Mountain defensive stat sheet, unfortunately.
You're right. And you kind of look at some numbers. Basha coming into the ballgame had 1,301 yards passing. That was under Gabe Friend. That's good for third in the 6A conference. Well, we know that Gabe Friend's a pocket passer and a little different style quarterback than Micah Harper. But just as far as the numbers are concerned, Micah Harper's putting up Gabe Friend type numbers.
He is indeed, and getting it done all over the football field. And he's got the weapons to get it done with. So once again, it's a one-score game.
That is unbelievable speed. Camden Mateen is one of their fastest guy on that 4x100 relay, and he's not even made a reception tonight. He doesn't even have a return kick. That kind of speed is on the shelf right now.
He's been a non-factor here tonight.
But the big factor has been Zion Williams. For Williams now, 7 touchdowns, over 645 yards receiving on the season. And coming into the game, he was the all-purpose leader for the Basha Bears at 581. So let's see what Daniel Butler has had a big night returning the football. Let's see what he does here. This time they kick it to Butler at the 1, to the 5, 10, 15, and he's takes a shot around the 15-yard line. All kinds of bodies flying around right there for the Basha Bears. It looked like Carson Bachman in there on that special teams tackle. And until that particular return, Daniel Butler had been doing well and giving Red Mountain a nice lift on the return game.
Yeah, that was a decent return there. Not a whole lot of yardage gained, but some hard yardage there for Daniel Butler. But he's been contributing all over the field tonight for Red Mountain, doing a great job out there.
So Hiram Bourne back on the field after that 74-yard touchdown run by Ty McElroy. And how about it for T-Mac? Nice to see him make one of those type of plays, showing you some speed. And he's so tough. Now Williams will line up with Butler here to the near side. 2 can cheat defensively just a little bit. Bourne will run it to Ty McElroy up the middle. Follow those blockers. And they're going to push it back just a little bit. That time 29, another play for the Basha Bears, making his first tackle of the night. That's Caleb Jones. For Jones, he has 22 tackles on the season, 4 of those behind the line of scrimmage. He also has 2.5 sacks. So for Jones, he is very capable of being a run stuffer and making some plays defensively.
Talking about Ty McElroy for a second, we get kind of spoiled, maybe a little bit lulled to sleep with all the yardage he picks up between the tackles, but once he's able to get out on the edge, he has got the speed.
He does. Now we have a penalty marker thrown in the middle of the field. Had a nice conversation with Carson Foster before the game, asking him where he would start tonight, what kind of a role he would have. And, you know, Carson was yes, sir, no, sir for everything. Just very respectful, much like Ben Bray and much like so many of these guys. But it's just a real good group of characters. And the parents at home raising these student athletes on this Red Mountain football team, give yourselves a hand. Pat yourselves on the back. You guys are raising some great, great people. All right, they'll mark off 5 yards on that penalty. 2nd and 13 for Bourne. They run it again up the middle with a huge hole. It looks like it's T-Mac again with a big rumble up the middle, working off that right side. Carson Foster, Jake Griffin, and of course up the middle, Colston Cooley. You talk about road grading and creating a nice little pathway to run the football. Those guys did just that.
They're doing great. The beef up front, getting it done for Red Mountain right now, and they're going to just pound the rock here and try to get rid of some of that clock here in the 3rd.
Gain of 11, 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground. This is Deontay Elliott. And Deontay Elliott turned the corner at the 30, got to the 35-yard line, and much like he did last week on that 15-yard touchdown run that he went untouched, he started to get into that high-step mode. And if we can watch Deontay Elliott high step it at any point on the football field, the treat is ours.
Yes, indeed, because you know he's about to shift gears right then and take it, and he's going to get loose on one here in a minute. I feel it.
I kind of agree with you that he is just literally a broken tackle away. All right, Carrington's lined up to the far side. Let's see if Red Mountain takes a shot. Connor Gardner lines up in the slot. Bourne back to throw, looking for Carrington. He's there, and the ball is batted down late. Excellent throw, but better defensive play there that time by Andrell Barney. So Barney's got to be a little bit winded right now, but the beauty to identify before was pretty cool, and then maybe that throw was just slightly underthrown a fuzz because it looked like Carrington had a step on the defender.
He had a little bit of a step, but it was excellent coverage as well from Basha's secondary, and that was just a great football play right there.
Barney, some great secondary coverage and broke that play up. Basha showing blitz, and I think Hiram Bourne's going to draw him offside. On the right side was Charles Gilbert. It looked like he was on the hunt. Red Mountain used the hard count right there.
Very 7-esque there for Hiram Bourne. Very Elway-like with that hard count, doing a great job.
And on 3rd and 3, James, how big was that? They get to move the sticks.
That's a heady play. That's football IQ right there, one-on-one.
28-21, number 7 back in that huddle. Lining up to the near side is Jay Willie, Jared Wilson, JB, Jackson Beecher, the far side. 2 backs in now. It's Elliott and Ty McElroy. High snap for Hiram. He wants to run it. Now he's going to just slide down. You just talked about the IQ. We talked about Micah Harper getting a lot of praise for his approach with the cerebellum. But Hiram Bourne right there, realizing there wasn't much there for him, just lived to play another down, secured the football, and didn't take the contact this time. He kind of saved or spared his body, if you will.
Yeah, slight business decision there for Hiram Bourne. And again, you mentioned you got to secure the football, and sometimes you just got to eat it and try it again the next down.
So that'll be a loss of 3. Ty McElroy remains in the ballgame. He's flanked to the left of Hiram Bourne. Elliott is to the right. You put both those backs back there. Pick your poison. Bourne back to throw. They want to set up a middle screen. The pass is a little bit too tall. That time the pass was too high for Deontay Elliott. And nearly picking that ball off for Basha was 52. That was Jackson Larson. He's their sack leader with 3, but he also has the propensity to get after the quarterback, at least apply pressure, and he did that time.
Larson did a great job on that one. He was coming in for a little bit of a pass rush, or excuse me, a little bit of a run play there. And as soon as he saw that it was going to be a throw, he hit the brakes a little bit, got those hands up in the air, and batted that football down.
How big is this play right here? JP Bash is showing blitz. 3rd and 13 for the Red Mountain 38-yard line. There goes Deontay Elliott to line up in the slot. Bourne back to throw. Bourne steps up in the pocket. Bourne looks like he wants to throw. He dumps it off, and the pass is going to be incomplete. He had a receiver going down the sideline. That was Ty McElroy, and that time the pass was just a little bit too short, and I feel like Hiram had some time, but he rushed that one, and unfortunately that one falls incomplete. So Red Mountain's going to have to bring on the punting unit.
Yeah, he had a pretty clean pocket that time, able to he had to scramble out ultimately on the play, roll out to the far side there, but just a little bit of an errant throw.
Great coverage by the Basha Bears as the Basha Bears secondary has really made some plays here on this particular sequence. High snap for Gardner. He retreats the football, and he gets away with his punt with that left foot, and it'll be touchdown near the 36-yard line by Red Mountain. And that's where Micah Harper will come back on the field. His team trailing by a touchdown with 6:46 to go in this ball game. And JP, we retreated to an outstanding win last week at Westview. Westview was very talented, very well coached under Nick Garretts, and they just competed all night long. And here is Red Mountain again, another big-time battle. This time we're out in the East Valley.
Well, this has turned into a dogfight now, Kevin. A couple of big plays given up by both teams here early in the second half of action. And right now it's sort of a track meet. We're going to see who's going to maybe pull away here late in this third quarter.
One thing that Coach Enders is trying to decipher right now is how to slow down Zion Williams. He's been a big play threat here tonight. He's been the most demonstrative player here tonight. And Red Mountain's going to have to find a way to check him. It will be interesting to see how they try to scheme and slow down number 2. Probably the biggest thing they can do to slow down 2 is to get to the quarterback, and that's get to 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to do. Flush him out of the pocket, keep him under pressure. Don't let him have any extra time to make a decision, make a play, because he can do it with his arm or his feet, and you just want to close any of that down right away and get pressure on him immediately.
Basha enters tonight's game after getting drubbed last week against Highland. They lost 40-7. And in that ball game, Basha surrendered 390 total yards. In fact, they allowed 248 yards on the ground and a couple of touchdowns. Daniel Wood had 157 yards for Highland, and Gage Daly had 3 touchdown passes. He's just a sophomore for the Highland Hawks. So Brock Farrell's got him reloading again for Highland. But for Basha, their football program has picked up a couple quality wins early this year. They got to wait to see how they develop in the Premier Region, but they beat San Jose O'Connor 48-20, and they had a 47-7 triumph over La Jolla. Both teams right there very good offensively minded. So Micah Harper back on the field, 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Major Kelly showing blitz. Here he comes. They run it to Harper. Harper's going to try to get to the outside. He does down the sideline. He's going to pick up about 9 yards right there. Someone for Red Mountain was in that backfield there. They had a chance at the quarterback, and Micah Harper so elusive and with so many moves and the quick feet, he just used speed to get around the edge.
Yeah, there was a guy in there that nearly had a tackle for a loss, but just out of the outstretched arms and able to get around the corner. Micah Harper so fast.
I think it was Edmonds over there. 2nd and 10. Well, we'll check the scoreboard here. That's a 5-yard run for Harper after the spot. So Harper back to throw. Pump fake, looking for a double move. Here comes the pressure. He escapes the pressure, and he's going to be dropped from behind.
Cole
Loria with the pressure and the pursuit off the back edge. Nice job there by Loria, as Loria right there to make a huge play and force a 3rd down. So that is just a gigantic play. I wanted to say ginormous and gigantic together, so we'll go with ginormous. But 3rd and 5 now for the 41-yard line. Here comes Red Mountain. They're showing blitz. Do they come? And now here comes the hard count, and Harper draws them off one more time. Let's see if the Mountain Lions can get any kind of luck and get a procedure penalty. But their body language is telling me they're going back the other way, and they are.
Offsides is the call there. A costly penalty for Red Mountain's defense. A heady play there for the Basha Bears to get that penalty drawn and pick up that easy 1st down.
Coach Enders flashing some signs. They're going with 12. Coach Audie with the signal. Low snap. Harper from the pocket. Here comes Trey Smith, and he's thrown down, and he's sacked again. And now there's 2 penalties on the play. So Trey Smith,
that better not be roughing the passer,
as his 3rd sack of this ball game.
I might have an aneurysm if that's roughing the passer.
He now has 9 sacks. He's the 6A conference sack leader. And let's see what this penalty is all about, as Micah Harper slow to get up. And as we mentioned earlier, when Micah Harper appeared to be a little ginger on those wheels, at their backup quarterback might start to throw the football, and you're seeing a little action right now as the Basha Bear backup starting to spin a couple there. We'll see what's going on with Harper, but we await the long conversation with this officiating team. 2 penalty flags went down right where Trey Smith got to Micah Harper. Let's see what the call is. So they're going to pick up
the penalty flag.
No, they've already.
Oh, they already marked it off, but didn't give us a call.
No indication from this crew. This crew has had a tough night. I'll be honest with you. I don't even have their names to blast them. But this crew has lost their way here a little bit. That's just a tough call here. There's the tailback again. He dropped the football. That's Barney.
That one's coming back, holding in the backfield.
And this is what they do. They do these makeup calls here. So now a penalty flag up the field around the 44-yard line, and this appears to be coming back. So there's
enough of that back and forth with the calls. Just don't make the call if you don't need to make the call.
They're going to negate that last sack by Trey Smith. We would like to thank our Red Mountain TV crew: Eric Rich, Gavin O'Hearn, Manuel Lopez, Era Lyons, Dayton Banneker, Maximilian Vocone. It's Vocone. Maximilian Vocone, Garrett Merrill, and Carson Jackalone. We thank you for all of your efforts and our very fine broadcast, a very talented crew. How about it for Maximilian Vocone? All right, Harper being pressured. Foster had a chance at it. Now it's Harper down the sideline, the 50, and they're going to ride him out of bounds.
That was big Tyler Brown, the sophomore in the backfield there for Red Mountain, 5'8", 193, running around and flushing that quarterback out. Good job, young man.
Tyler Brown also sees a lot of time on the offensive line at right guard. Him and Carson Foster spell one another. But Brown give him a hurry getting after the quarterback. So Micah Harper will turn that into a modest gain. Once again, checking in at tailback is Andrel Barney as an 80-yard touchdown run here tonight. He is spelling their lead back, Andrew Fernandez. 2nd and 7 from the 49-yard line off the play fake. They pass it outside, and the wide receiver making the play and breaking some tackles as he drifts down the sideline is, I believe, Camden Mateen making his first catch of the night. And it is indeed Mateen making the reception, his first grab of the night for the Basha Bears. And for Mateen, his 20th catch of the season to go with 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. In fact, Mateen is their all-purpose leader with 11:02, and that's his first catch of the night.
If there's one thing you do not want to do if you're the Red Mountain Mountain Lions, you do not want to let Camden Mateen get started.
You don't want him to get loose at all. Barney now flanked to the right of Micah Harper. They run it to Barney around the outside, and he's going to be tackled right there with very little yardage. In fact, I think they might have got a tackle for a loss. That is Cole Loria over there, and he's had himself quite the ball game for a guy that's come in that's might not have had a chance to be conditioned, but you also say that EP got in on the act too.
Yeah, they were both doing a great job on that one. Ethan Peterson, it looks like he might have got the first wrap, and Cole Loria came in there and finished it off. What a great team defensive play there for Red Mountain.
Oh, Loria is having himself a night. He's getting after the quarterback. 4 minutes to go. It's 28-21. Mountain Lions have the lead by a touchdown. Once again, a special thank you to Tressa Tudrick, our guest at halftime. And you can watch Tressa on the Varsity Zone here tonight. Harper with time from the pocket, throws over the middle field, and the ball's incomplete. And let's see if there's a penalty marker thrown on that one, because I can tell you Cole Shivers was glued all over Camden Mateen. And if you ever wanted to throw a flag, this was the chance to throw the flag. In fact, what we like to say is, I support this crew. I respect all these AIA officials. It's a tough, tough job.
Oh, yes.
But I say it's the quality of calls that we want, not the quantity. And that was the time to make the call, not this stuff over here taking away sacks from the 6A conference sack
I was waiting for it, too.
3rd and 10 for the 38-yard line. Huge play for the Mountain Lion defense. Can they get off the field? Play fake for Harper. Screen pass to Williams. Looking for blockers. Trying to turn the corner. And he's going to be forced out. Here comes a late penalty marker in as Williams was forced out there by Skylar Edmonds. Parker McClure also there. And let's see, like Cole Shivers was getting in on the act too. A lot of hustle by Red Mountain on that defensive stand that time because Williams just has so much speed.
Indeed, the speed to the edge is outstanding for Zion Williams. And how about George Ramirez closing in on that one there for the Red Mountain defense?
He has closing type speed, and Georgie has always been a finisher. And that time he finished that play. It's time for Trey Smith to get loose once again right here. 28-21 ball game, 3:28 to go in this third quarter. They wind up the clock here at Jim Wall Stadium.
Coach Kyle Enders needs to dial up that blitz right here, Kevin.
Now there's a penalty marker.
Oh, we got a sideline warning
on the other side. So the sideline warning is a call that each and every officiating crew has to use at least once, whether they need to or not. They're like, hey, do you want to do the sideline warning now, or do you want to do it later?
They have to use it.
No, I'm making it up. It's ridiculous.
I was like, what?
It's just like, are you serious?
Oh. That kind of sounds like suspending a kid for working out at a gym and helping a younger kid.
Red Mountain.
That's what it sounds like to me.
They get their sideline warnings at home all the time. They don't get them on the road. They just get them at home. All right, here we are, 28-21, inside 3 minutes to go. Big play on 3rd and 15, possession play. Harper back to throw. Here comes the pressure from the outside. Harper going deep for the far sideline. The ball's incomplete. Harper was going for number 12, Trent Pennington, and great coverage that time by Georgie Ramirez. the strong safety over there in pass coverage, covering a tremendous amount of territory. In fact, Georgie even went for the lunge at the end to try to pick that ball off. As Harper showed you his air strength, but that ball had a little bit too much air under it, but you understand the idea of the pass because he was trying to get his receiver to run under that one.
Yeah, pressure coming off the edge that time from Red Mountain's bookend defensive ends there, and they forced a little bit of an errant pass there. George Ramirez, excellent job in coverage there as well for Red Mountain.
So there's the punt by Bass, and it's going to take a Basha bounce. So give Bass a punt inside the 20. They'll spot the ball on the 10-yard line. A change of possession for the Mountain Lions. Up by 7 points with 2:35 to go. Well, we talked about the fact that Basha gave up a lot of running yardage last week to Highland. We've already seen a couple of big plays here. We've seen a couple of touchdown runs, and that last one, 74 yards by Ty McElway. Perhaps they keep feeding those two backs and break off another couple of runs here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to do here. A nice, long, sustained drive, run the football, open up the passing game a little bit. Deontay Elliott right now on the sideline. T-back is in the backfield for the Mountain Lions.
Hiram Bourne has gone all the way at quarterback. Full wide receiver package as Bourne runs the football right up the middle, making a move to the outside. Bourne to the 30-yard line, steps a tackle, puts a juju on Zion Williams there, and he gets extra yardage after the play. What a run by Hiram Bourne, and you have to really respect the shoulder dance and the finish, and then all the moves, right? Wow, Hiram Bourne, impressive.
Bringing it.
To juke Zion Williams, who basically has been juking people out of their shorts all evening long, just got juked out of his own by Hiram Bourne, and the shoulder dance and the shoulder wiggle all on display by number 7, the quarterback.
Not too many quarterbacks with that amount of size, 6'1", 190 pounds, can move like that out in space. What an excellent job that time for Bourne.
Coming into the ball game, Bourne had 199 yards on the ground with 5 touchdowns. He has his 6th rushing touchdown here tonight. 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. High snap for Bourne. Ball's fumbled, and he's just going to go down and cover up the football. That's a smart play by the quarterback, Hiram Bourne, making his 6th varsity start on week 1. That same type of play, I think, towards the end zone. He just threw it up over his head. The ball was picked off. That was one of his 2 interceptions, James. So Hiram Bourne continues to play exceptional football, and that time it was a high snap, not a lot he could do with that one.
Yeah, he learned from that earlier play in the season, and he knows it's a little bit better just to eat that one and live to play another down. 2nd and long now here for Red Mountain.
That's Costin Cooley is the center. 4 wide receiver package on a play fake for Bourne. Quick pass to the outside. Looks like it's Wilson, and Wilson makes the reception. Ball comes out late. It was Jared Wilson making the catch. Nice job there by Jared Wilson. 24 catches, 293 and 3 touchdowns entering play here. Let's see what this penalty is all about. And if we would just kind of speculate the way the Mountain Lions are walking back the other direction, the preliminary indication is some sort of hold against the Mountain Lions here. And again, it's the timing of these calls that are frustrating, if nothing else, James.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's usually after a big play and trying to get something going offensively, trying to establish a little bit of a rhythm here late in the 3rd quarter, move this football down the field, and the penalties keep interrupting.
So 1:36 to go to the break as Daniel Butler will line up to the near side. Butler has yet to make a catch tonight. Wilson in the slot with Jackson Beecher to the far side. Basha showing blitz. It's Bourne, goes right up the middle. Big hole, 30, 35, 40. Blockers in front of him, 50. Still on his feet. And Bourne's going to be tackled on the 40-yard line. "30-yard run for Hiram Bourne. Quarterback keeper on that play, calling his own number, gets the play call from Tabor Lamar, and the Red Mountain offense continues to rock and roll.
Doing a great job up front. The offensive line reading those defensive tackles. If they go to the outside, that opens up the Red Sea in the middle there, and Hiram Bourne just tucks it and runs. And like I said before, not a whole lot of people are going to step up on him in the open field.
East Valley Region first-teamer Ben Bray doing a solid job on that left side along with Isaiah Artis. They run to the near side. It's Bourne again to the 40, 35. They'll spot him right near the 30-yard line, but Bourne's starting to pick up the run game now. We thought that Red Mountain should run the football on this particular drive. They not only take some time off the clock, but just continue to wear down the Basha Bears. As you can see, a lot of their guys with their hands on their hips right now, they're starting to get a little fatigued here as we play on late in this third quarter here.
The war of attrition, Kevin. An excellent job that time. Look for now maybe a little misdirection. Send Hiram Bourne coming this way, a little play fake, and send T-Mac or maybe Deontay out the back end there.
Deontay with a touchdown tonight. Ty McElroy with a touchdown tonight. Hiram Bourne with a touchdown run tonight. 3 rushing touchdowns. This is T-Mac on the play fake. Bourne throwing over the middle of the field. The ball's caught by Wilson inside the 15-yard line. And they're going to ride him down to the ground right near the 13-yard line. And now they're starting to gang tackle a little bit. And it seems like Basha's, they look like they're intent to maim a little bit. I feel like they're trying to hurt players, but I could be misreading that entirely. But it just seems like they're playing rather physical and taking some shots.
Yeah, they're both teams are taking a few shots here tonight, Kevin, but frustration a little bit setting in for Basha now. They know that clock's ticking. We're about to hit the fourth quarter mark here, and they want desperately to stop this Red Mountain offense from scoring again here.
Unofficially, a 22-yard pass play. Hiram Bourne to Jared Wilson as the first 3 quarters are in the books here from Jim Walsh Stadium on the campus of Basha High. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Fourth quarter coming up next. We welcome you back to Basha Bear High School on Red Mountain TV. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. It's the fourth quarter, James, and Red Mountain is knocking on the door here, and the ball's on the 13-yard line. This is getting into 4-down territory, maybe? You want to have a 2-score lead here when you're done with this drive.
Yes, indeed. Red Mountain knocking on the door right now. They want to kick that door in and score this football right here and go up 2 scores.
Bourne has Elliott to his left. He's got Ty McElroy to his right. Both backs have scored touchdowns tonight. And when Red Mountain's rolling, both those backs are doing some things. So they put up a fresh 12 minutes on the Longines scoreboard. And James, I got to be honest with you here. I'm a little disappointed in the Basha Bear contingent. This is a huge stadium, and there are a lot of empty seats here on a glorious night for football. 2 very well-coached football teams, 2 excellent programs with the needle pointing upwards. I'm surprised there's not more people here.
Yeah, shout out to the Red Mountain football fan base here, doing a great job traveling out here to the far east, southeast valley. And, yeah, a little bit sparse there over the Basha side of it, but, man, that's a huge amount of bleachers over there, Kevin. My goodness.
It's huge facility. Great contingent here for Red Mountain as the Red Sea is here, as James pointed out. This is Elliott, and Elliott gets drilled. That's the best hit of the night by 41 for the Basha Bears. We mentioned his name a couple times tonight, but Charles Gilbert took on Deontay Elliott. That's the first time anybody's gotten Elliott with 1 attempt. No broken tackle there, no missed tackle. Charles Gilbert, mano a mano That's a great play by Gilbert.
Outstanding play by Gilbert. Met him in the hole there right as Deontay tried to break it to the outside and squared him up. Nice form tackle, dropped him to the turf. Excellent play.
You are watching Mountain Line Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. 2nd and 11 for the 14-yard line. Hiram Bourne out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his left. Bourne looks that way, under blitz. Now he's going to run it. He's got blockers in front of him to the 10. Make a move at the 10. Dive towards the 5-yard line. Is going to be tackled right there. Making a tackle look like Micah Harper, playing both ways tonight. And we talk about the attrition factor, JP. Micah Harper, you can see right there, he's starting to get a little bit tired. And when he's tired on defense, that can only help the Red Mountain defense when he's on offense.
Well, credit to the offensive coordinators for Red Mountain, Tabor Lamar and Chris Andriatis, doing a great job of running this defense around the football field, making them chase these speedy running backs around, getting the tight end involved, getting these receivers out on the edge, and they're wearing out this Basha defense right now.
So this is a tank formation for Deontay, and Deontay is going to just try to barrel right through that line of scrimmage. Got to that second level, and he got tackled right there. Good defense that time by the Basha Bears. It looked like it was 3, Jacob Horner. A lot of Bears players are playing both ways tonight for Chris McDonald. So
I formation.
This is a goal to go in the tank formation. It's Deontay, cut right, and they take him out. A loss of yardage right there that time by Zion Williams. So Zion Williams can do a lot of talking, but he does make a lot of plays. And that time, he goes up and smacks a 5 with number 5, Deontay Elliott. That's the first time I've seen sportsmanship from number 2 tonight. When you got game like that, just play tough. Play balls to the wall. Play tough. Be physical. Be a competitor. Be a warrior. But don't talk smack.
Just play and get back to the huddle. That was a great job of spilling that play there for Zion Williams.
Again, a big full house pack as they go to Deontay. Jump cut to the outside. Look out. And Deontay lunges towards the end zone. He was tripped up short of the goal line. It looked like Micah Harper got Deontay Elliott by the back of the left Achilles, and they brought him down. Otherwise, Deontay would have scored for the second time tonight. That's an athletic play by Micah Harper. Nobody gets Deontay Elliott on the outside. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. This is Boren, and Boren put him up. We're waiting for the official sign, and now they put him up. Touchdown. Hiram Boren, his 2nd rushing touchdown of this football game. And for Bourne, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Mountain Lions now have 4 rushing touchdowns.
Hey, you got 6'4", 220-pound Costin Cooley at the center position there. Why not just line up, power football, I formation, pound it in the end zone. Excellent job there for the Mountain Lions.
Big-time touchdown with the exclamation point. Hiram Bourne on the quarterback sneak. Another low snap, and this time Wilson can't do anything with that one. Too much pressure upcoming for the Basha Bears. It looked like 41 again on that side. Charles Gilbert was there, at least wreaking havoc, and Zion Williams doesn't want to leave the field. But big block there for the Basha Bears. Let's see if that comes to haunt, but you have to be appreciative of that offense where Red Mountain just went smash mouth football. I don't think they threw the football one time on that drive. All runs, and they punch it in with a touchdown. That's clutch.
That was a statement drive, what that was right there, Kevin. An excellent job of finishing the play, finishing the runs on that drive for Red Mountain there. You mentioned the absence of Max Bray a little bit earlier in the ball game, and that was evident of it right there. But they'll get that cleaned up in practice and special teams practice, and they'll shore that up.
So it's 34-21, 9:08 to go in this ball game, James. Right now, Red Mountain looking pretty good, but they need their defense to step up here and get a couple stops here late in this 4th quarter to seal the deal here.
They need a couple stops, and they need one of those couple to be on this drive coming up right now. They do not want to give any momentum back to the Basha Bears. If you look over on that sideline right now, not a whole lot of championship body language there for Basha. Their heads are down, a little bit of frustration, and if you're Red Mountain right now, you need to keep kicking that door in.
You got to keep applying the pressure here in this road game for the Mountain Lions. You kind of look ahead to see what's upcoming here for the Mountain Lions. They've been on the road for absolutely ever now. And for Red Mountain, they had Westview
That's incorrect, Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not right. The last 3 games, this is our 3rd road game in a row.
Yeah, 2nd. Dobson was at Red Mountain. So we went to Westview, Basha, and then we head to
the Mount Lions will be at Skyline next week.
the
Skyline.
Coyotes.
This is the 2nd of the 3 road games.
That's it. We're in the middle of a 3-game road trip.
All right, so Connor Gardner making his first varsity reception tonight as a wide receiver. Will try to kick the ball off, and he has to keep it away from Andrell Barney and Zion Williams. This time he kicks it deep, and this one goes into the end zone. And that's exactly what you want to see out of Connor Gardner. What a booming kick. That's exactly what you want to see after a touchdown drive like that finished with 6 points. It's 34-21, and we can see that Bash is starting to run out of gas.
Yeah, they are running out of gas. And right here, if Red Mountain is able to keep that hammer down and play some good defense and get a 3 and out, boy, it's gonna be tough for Basher to recover.
I think that's funny. I don't know who sees us on TV tonight. Do they get the camera? Hey, does the camera pan on the talent every now and then? Does the camera ever pan on the talent? You guys ever get a shot of the team?
This would be a good time for that, is what we're saying.
Somebody had mentioned Mike Thompson. God bless you, my friend. Isaac Thompson's dad, Mike, probably at home, cocktailing, listening to tonight's ball game, watching the ball game, as everybody should be. And he said, I'm rocking the flannel tonight, so I just thought that was cool. But I didn't know that anybody ever got a shot of the broadcasters. So we weren't on film tonight.
Maybe Tressa put a picture up of us.
That's a good
doing
picture.
the halftime.
Yeah, when you're next to Tressa, that's a good look right there for anybody. So we got a player down, and this appears to be a Mount Lion. And I don't want to speculate who it is. He's on his back. Just by the knee brace, I want to say maybe it's Jake Griffin. But I can't tell, and I'm going to look for 54 on the side here.
44.
It's 44. It's 44. That is Will Vanderlinden. So Vanderlinden looks like he's shaken up on the particular play. Vanderlinden with 15 tackles on the season. Looks like he got his bell rung a little bit there. And for the Mount Lions, they can ill afford to lose any more bodies, really. They're already playing shorthanded as it is. They're clearly outmanned. They will not win the dude category anywhere. And when you think about, let's just say they're playing Saguaro tonight. You have 21 players that are already committed to the next level. That's a lot of players. That's a lot of dudes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Back to work. First attempt from their own 20-yard line. It's Micah Harper trailing 34-21. Out of the pistol formation. Low snap. Harper back to throw. He's being pressured. Evades a sack. Still being pressured. The throw to the boundary, and it's caught. And then stepping out of bounds was the wide receiver. All kinds of pressure. Gage Skidmore applying pressure. Trey the Truth Smith applying pressure. Penalty marker down. Major Kelly was also in on the hunt. And the pass was complete to Camden Mateen, but for very little yardage. And how about the presence and the poise of Micah Harper with all that pressure in his face to somehow make a play and avoid another sack.
Yeah, still able to get that football off. That was amazing. It looks like it's going to be a legal man downfield here as the call against Basha, so that'll back him up a few. But how about Gage Skidmore doing a great job in the middle there, shedding a blocker and making a beeline for the quarterback. Outstanding play there.
Skidmore, the #1 tight end, playing both ways, starting to play defense more and having some fun with that. Kyle Enders just converting another offensive player to a defensive player. And it's a state of mind, it really is. 1st and 15. Fernandez back of the game. Harper takes that shotgun snap pass, outside complete. And going down the sideline there was Camden Mateen. He was forced out there by Nas Bryant. Nice physical tackle there by Nas Bryant. And he saw a little arm strength there from Micah Harper with the outside completion.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the throwing tonight from Micah Harper. He's able to really drive on that football, and he's got great form there in the pocket.
Harper really struggled last week against Highland, and who wouldn't struggle against Highland? On the ground, Harper was 23 of 45. 23 carries, just 45 yards against Highland. That's tough defense. With the arm, he was 14 of 26 for a $195 with a touchdown. That was a 69-yarder to Williams. And he had a pick last week, so he's had a little bit more success here tonight, but it hasn't been winning success just yet. Here goes Harper. Penalty marker down the throw, down the sideline. The ball is going to be caught by Williams again. Let's see what the penalty's all about. Williams that time got over on the cornerback, and in the coverage, you had Ethan Peterson and George Ramirez. They're having a discussion about what happened on that play, but this one might be coming back. And unfortunately for Williams, it'll take away another 45-yard pass play. Otherwise, Williams could be in that 150 to 180-yard range receiving the football tonight. He's had a big, big offensive evening.
Yes, he has indeed. That was a great reception there as well, but unfortunate penalty going against the Basha Bears, so they're going to have to back up now, and Red Mountain's defense gets away, dodges a bullet there.
And what I like about Zion Williams on that particular sequence is he made the play, and he set the football down and got up and went back towards the huddle. That's how you're supposed to do it. When you got that kind of game, man, your actions speak way louder.
And
than any
let
of the
me tell you,
nonsense.
everybody's watching. Not only on YouTube on this broadcast tonight, but everybody's got a cell phone in their pocket. Everybody's got a video camera on them. And let me tell you, you got to have championship body language.
Harper from the pocket nearly went down. Now he's going to try to tuck it and run it to the 20, 25, and they're going to force him out of bounds. Georgia Ramirez from the strong safety position up to force out the quarterback.
That's
that
my guy.
Is unbelievable play by Georgia Ramirez. You talk about covering a lot of ground, a tremendous amount of real estate. Georgia Ramirez to get after the quarterback and get the force out. In fact, no yardage gain on that. We'll have to wait to see what the scorekeepers rule, but he might have picked up a sack right there.
From the opposite side of the field, Kevin, opposite hash, George Ramirez comes screaming across, and don't think for a second Micah Harper didn't see him coming through there like a bullet.
You know he did. Clock stopped with 8:06. Possession play, 3rd and 7 for the Basha Bear 24-yard line. 4 down linemen for Red Mountain. McBarney back in the ballgame. Harper wants to throw. He throws outside in the flat. Pass complete to Barney, and Barney's going to be gang tackled and thrown down to the ground. Big defensive player there by Red Mountain, led by number 30, the Mike backer, Parker McClure. Yes, he was my defensive impact player of the game. What a tackle by Parker McClure at the biggest time his defense would need him.
He rises up to the occasion. An excellent play there for the Mike linebacker for the Red Mountain Lions. He's been filling holes tonight, and he came up huge there on that one.
So Hiram Bourne's going to check in to play a defensive spot. He'll be at one cornerback position.
Whoa.
And Andrew Bonham is also in at cornerback. Ethan Peterson will change to the other side of the safety. So now he'll play the free safety spot. 4th and 8. This is the ball game for the Basha Bears. From their own 23-yard line. Harper back to throw. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Penalty marker down. The throw is incomplete. Mateen had it in his hands, and the ball was dropped. 2 Basha Bear players had a chance at the football, but let's see what the penalty marker is all about. If it's holding, Red Mountain's going to get the football back. And it is holding, and Red Mountain's going to get the football back, and their defense has a big stand here with 7:06 to go in the 4th quarter. How about Andy's boys getting it done?
Rising to the occasion, the Red Mountain defense. Once again, credit to Coach Kyle Enders, Coach Matt Kelly doing it on the defensive line down there. Great job by the team, and that was a huge defensive stand there for the Mountain Lions.
Mountain Lions dial up a delayed zone blitz, and they come in there, and again, Harper, so elusive, very difficult to sack and to tackle, but the pressure was just enough to provide the quick and errant throw, and Mateen dropped the football. So here comes Bourne. He just stays on. So Bourne stays on now. Now they play fake it. They throw it to Wilson, and he drops the football. Jared Wilson had one right there in the breadbasket, and you know exactly what he did if you're watching this at home. He just turned his eyes off the football. He turned upfield to see what kind of green grass he had in front of him, and that time that cost him.
Well, unfortunately for Jared Wilson and Red Mountain, he had quite a bit of that green grass in front of him that time, Kevin, because he would have hauled that one in. He might have been off to the races there.
Had a chance to run a long way. Clock stopped with 7:01 to go in this fourth quarter. It's 34-21 Mountain Lions on the move again. Bourne puts the ball in the hands of Deontay Elliott. There he goes. Untouched right up the middle. And Deontay is going to be brought down on the 1-yard line. You talk about a burst of speed with an acceleration. Deontay Elliott just smoked right through that hole. And that was a touchdown-saving tackle by the Basha Bears as they got the Achilles again from Deontay. That's the only way they're tackling Deontay right now is from behind.
Yeah, by the end of the Nike swoosh on the back of his cleat, Kevin.
22-yard gallop for Elliott. Elliott is in the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, my. A start and a stop, and then go right up the seam. Deontay Elliott, touchdown number 2 tonight. Wow. What a great job by the offensive line. All of them. Ben Bray, Isaiah Artis, Costin Cooley, Carson Foster, and Jake Griffin. We salute you for that particular drive. What a run.
Well, these running backs tonight are going to have to treat these linemen to maybe a little bit of steak dinner tomorrow, Kevin, because they are paving the way up front, and they're opening the holes here all night long against this Basha Bears defensive line.
21 touchdowns now on the career for Deontay Elliott. He has 17 rushing touchdowns in his career, 21 total. And on the season for Deontay, he now has 8 rushing touchdowns. And that's a very impressive drive there, especially when the Basha Bears turned it over on downs. And Red Mountain answers with a couple of big plays by Deontay Elliott. And the Thunder Lightning of Deontay Elliott and Ty McElroy. Ty McElroy being the Thunder, the Lightning being Deontay Elliott. And then if you want to throw in a little mix of a typhoon, you have Josiah Villanueva. And look out, folks, this run game for Red Mountain, with the balance of the quarterback play of Hiram Bourne, you're watching something, maybe something special starting to develop with this group here.
Well, it's tough on the opposing defenses because, you know, you can only key on one, maybe 2 guys at a time, and that's going to free up somebody else. And just too many weapons on this Red Mountain team.
Bourne back to throw, going for 2 to the end zone, looking for Wilson, and the ball's caught but out of bounds. You gotta love the effort. For the Red Mountain Mountain Line offense, the confidence is so high, and that includes the play callers, Tabor Lamar and Chris Andriotis. But on every single play, Hiram Bourne believes that he can make a play, and that right there just showed you again, little toss, little flip to the back of the end zone. Only JW could have made the play on it. And darn near had a little toe drag swag right there, but that was a nifty play. Now, to no avail. 2-point conversion is no good. It's 40-21 with 6:38 to go. Red Mountain's in the driver's seat now.
Heady play there once again for Hiram Bourne. And, well, I tell you, this Red Mountain football team, Kevin, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. 1 point, and these guys are 5-0, and they'd be going to 6-0 tonight. Definitely in that Super 8 conversation, and they're starting to tighten things up here and there, making improvements, shoring up some things, and they'll continue to do that, obviously, as the season goes on, but they're priming the pump for the playoffs.
You know, I look at the Basha Bears, and Coach McDonald told me before the game, said it's all about the numbers. And right now, we don't have the body counts. We don't have the numbers. So they continue to build and work on things. Again, this is only year 2 in the Chris McDonald regime. He's an outstanding coach with an outstanding football mind, and it will take time, but Basha will be a formidable program as we move forward. I believe that for a long time, Chris McDonald is that good of a coach. But you look at Basha in the last 10 years, they're 62-45 in the last decade. Coach Mack is 10-6. Chris McDonald is the 5th coach in Basha Bear history since 2004. And you think about this school, this is the 3rd school in Chandler, the 3rd school. You got Hamilton and Chandler, and Perry's right out the road. And you have the Basha Bears. I think the enrollment for all those other schools is larger than it is here for the Basha Bears, kind of on the outskirts of the east part of the state here. But the direction, and look, the facilities here are top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
The playing conditions, this is a Arizona Cardinal-type surface. This is a cherry playing facility here. And the Basha Bears have a lot going for them.
Yeah, well, when you look back to what we had last week at Westview, and not a knock on Westview, but the field wasn't in that great of condition. You come out here tonight at Basha, and it's pristine. Looks really nice.
It really is. And last week there were potholes and all kinds of stuff on the field at Westview, but what a difference a week makes. For Red Mountain, they lead the all-time series against Basha 3-1. In fact, the first ever meeting between these two schools came back in 2007. That was in a playoff game, and Red Mountain shut out the Basha Bears 21-0. That was a long time ago. And it's 40-21. The Red Mountain can improve to 4-1 all time against the Basha Bears. And somewhere along the road here, the crowd has left. Where's the emotion here in this ball game? Red Mountain took it away, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They took the wind out of the sails, especially for the Basha Bears, who were, let's face it, they were in this ball game for much of it up until the third quarter, and Red Mountain started breaking out. But right now, the calm before the storm here for the Red Mountain crowd as they get ready to hopefully finish off this game and celebrate a nice win here on the road.
We'd like to thank our global listening audience as Connor Gardner drills another booming kick into the end zone. That's his third touchback in a row for Connor Gardner. And for Red Mountain, well, we mentioned Skyline next week under George Hawthorne. It won't be Angelo Pafumi's Skyline Cody. So the game will kind of not have the shine that it usually has. However, when Red Mountain and Skyline get together, it's usually one of those smash mouth kind of juggernaut type football games where these two schools just don't like each other. But I don't know how much of that ill will and that bad blood still lingers with George Hawthorne at the helm.
Well, you think Broncos, Raiders, you think Cowboys, Redskins, all those sort of matchups when you think about Skyline and Red Mountain. That's what we're going to get next week.
Fernandez in at tailback. Quick pass from Harper. That's too low for Williams. And Williams, they get Mateen with that courtesy short hop pickup and the idea to kind of jog towards the end zone. But he needed the football, and it was thrown into the ground that time. So part of that fatigue factor here. I think Micah Harper is gassed. And I think one thing about Micah Harper is that he's their best defensive player, and he's their best offensive player as well, but I don't think he can have both.
I don't think the guy's left the field the whole night.
There's Mateen on the bubble screen and splits through a couple Red Mountain defenders and takes it down the sideline. And he'll pick up about, we'll call it 14 yards on that pass play. So a quick hitter from Micah Harper to Camden Mateen. Mateen shut out the first half, has a couple catches here, but nothing a big play yet.
Yeah, Mateen's come to life here in the second half for Basha. It's good to see him get involved in the offense, but unfortunately for the Bears, just a little bit too little too late.
I'm curious why they didn't use Mateen in that first half. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. It's Micah Harper at quarterback. Nas Bryant will check Mateen. This is Harper up the middle. There goes Micah. Breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to be thrown down around the 44-yard line. So a nice ball fake there to freeze the defender and then take it up the middle. So you show it up here, and then you tuck it, and you run it right up the middle. And as Tressa Tedrick pointed out on our conversation at halftime, there's been a lot of room up the middle here for both teams here tonight.
Yeah, the middle of the field's been wide open, doing a great job forcing the linebackers on the outside and really paving the way up front and moving people on that defensive line.
It's kind of funny, James, because we talked about that in the first quarter. That's the very same thing.
We did.
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Nearly a fumble snap by Mike Harper. Pressured there by Trey Smith. Harper from the 40. Nice ball fake there again to get 45 up in the air, leaping that time. It was 45 coming in there. That's Josh Campos. So Josh Campos on the hustle, trying to get after the quarterback as Tyler Brown will sit down. And the excitement will be on here tonight. At the end of the ball game, Tressa will have a chance to interview Mike Peterson and the fellas. Perhaps they'll talk to Deontay Elliott, my guy, or even Hiram Bourne. Those guys have been impressive tonight along with Trey Smith. 2nd and 6 from the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that'll be a good time after the game on the field.
Clock stopped at 5:18. There goes Fernandez to the right of Harper. Pass outside, a good spiral, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Camden Mateen. So Williams over here on the 50-yard line just can't help himself but to look towards the Red Mountain bench and jaw with them. And Deontay Elliott, no, I'll beg your pardon. That's Andrew Bonham Bonham started at cornerback tonight. That's why Daniel Butler's playing so much wide receiver. So Bonham is going to defend Williams here. Let's see if they provide some coverage for him. Ethan Peterson in that safety position. 40-21 with 5:13 to go. 4 wide receivers now for Harper. Harper back to throw, under pressure from the pocket, throws the ball to the outside, and the ball is incomplete. Nas Bryant turned around and looked for the football. Excellent coverage that time. Camden Mateen was the intended target, but Nas Bryant, with that presence of mind to look for the ball, did an excellent job there in coverage. And Michael Harper is going to be forced to punt now as Chris McDonald will concede this football game with 5:06 to go. He'll bring on his punting unit and give Red Mountain the football one more time.
How about Nas Bryant in coverage that time? You mentioned the heady play there. Turn around and play that football, because otherwise if you're mugging that guy, they're going to call that pass interference almost every single time.
They will indeed. 5:06 to go in this fourth quarter. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. 5:06 to go. Michael Harper back on the field. He's got 4 wide receivers now. Checking in at tailback is Andrew Fernandez. Williams lined up to the near side. Harper is going to be sacked. Who else? Trey the Truth Smith. And right behind him was Jake Griffin. Boy, those guys get after the quarterback. And that is now the 3rd sack of the night for the Truth.
He's been all over the field tonight for that defense, doing a great job for Red Mountain, keeping contained and getting in the backfield and making it count when he does.
Huge play. A turnover on downs, the second one for the Bears offense. Red Mountain back out on the field here. And we'll see if they have a new quarterback. Looks like they've got a new quarterback in. Evan Svoboda has checked in at quarterback. They're going to run it to Deontay, 50. Turn the corner, 40. Glide down the sideline, 30. Still on your feet. Race all the way in and score a touchdown. It's Deontay Elliott. That was 47 yards away, but they blew the whistle. And unfortunately, they could have let Deontay know, but you have to check in with Deontay in the end zone. That's where Deontay usually runs to. More great speed. But they call this one back. And I didn't see the infraction, but I was watching 5 scoot down the sideline.
I didn't see the infraction either, Kevin, because what I saw was an outstanding pancake block there by Ty McElroy, which they called a hold.
Just terrible. Ty McElroy does not get the credit that he deserves for being a vicious blocker. He is the best lead blocker on this football team, and he's arguably one of the top runners. I wouldn't know who to pick between Deontay and Ty. But that's why we go.
That's a good problem to have.
That's why we go thunder and lightning, baby. And then you mix in the typhoon of Josiah Villanueva and your 3-headed monster running the football, and then you throw in the blend of Hiram Bourne. Pick your poison, man. And then you go downfield.
Hiram's the weatherman. He's just calling out all the.
You think he's a meteorologist?
I think he's acting like Mother Nature. He says, you want thunder, you want lightning, you want a typhoon, I'll give it to you. What do you want?
Let's make the call.
That's it.
Let's make the call as they prepare for the broadcast here. So Svoboda in at quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. They're going to run it. And Svoboda is going to just steamroll a would-be tackler, taking on a linebacker. So the backup quarterback lowering the boom on the linebacker for the Basha Bears. And that is just attitude. Nice job, Svoboda.
Excellent job there. Taking on a guy in space, lowering his headgear, and a full head of steam there for Evan Svoboda. Excellent carry and a nice finish there as well to that run.
Excellent finish, JP. Little exclamation point on that, a little uppercut to boot. 40-21. It's all Red Mountain here in this second half. Carrington lines up to the far side. Don't be surprised if Red Mountain throws the football. They run it up the middle to Ty McElroy. Ty McElroy still on his feet, takes on the defensive backfield of the Basha Bears, and they can't bring him down. Nice job there by other members of the offensive line to serve that pile forward. And one of those guys leading that charge was 63, Isaiah Artis. Give it up for Isaiah Artis as T-Mac finishes that run. A big gash right up the middle.
Ty McElroy so strong, that lower body, those legs, able to keep him churning, and it takes a couple guys to bring him down almost every time.
15 plus more for T-Mac. Another 100-yard night for Ty McElroy, his 6th in his career as a member of the Mountain Lions. 1st and 10 for the 19-yard line as Svoboda is on the red zone. Put in the hands of T-Mac again, breaks a tackle, looking for blockers, cut it inside, spin around, and fall towards the 3-yard line. Ty McElroy with more vicious and punishing running for the tailback. Ty McElroy.
Outstanding job there. Ty McElroy, very heady. He's got great vision as he carries toward the line of scrimmage. And he saw number 3, Drake Bourne, out there setting up a block on the outside. So he cut it back to the inside, little spin move. What a great run.
Josiah Villanueva has checked in. We talk about what you want to do in the fourth quarter. You want to break down the will of the opposition. Red Mountain in successive weeks has broken down the will of the Westview Knights, and they have broken down the will of the Basha Bears here tonight inside 3 minutes to go in the driver's seat. Carrington lines up to the far side. This is Bourne lining up to the near side. Svoboda is the quarterback, and now we'll get a penalty marker on this play. 2:43 clock stop, and Red Mountain will take the timeout. So there's no flag on the play.
Call the flag on the timeout.
It'll be a timeout taken, and we'll take the short break with him. 2:43 to go. From Jim Wall Stadium on the campus of Basha High, our score, Red Mountain 40, Basha 21. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. James Poovey alongside Kevin Derryberry. Here we go.
Look at you, JP.
This is Villanueva. Villanueva is spun down inside the 5-yard line. Good to see him get a carry here. That's the Typhoon that we refer to. He's got a lot of wiggle, a lot of speed. Tate Blevins gets the touchdown-saving tackle on Josiah Villanueva, looking for his 3rd rushing touchdown this season. Had 2 against Dobson. 40-21. It's all over but the shouting now. Red Mountain trying to put the nail in the coffin here with a touchdown run. Ball's on the 4-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. Carrington again lines up to the far side. Bourne to the near side. Svoboda, the quarterback. High snap to Elliott. Elliott is going to break a tackle, and he's going to score a touchdown. Just like that, Deontay Elliott breaks a tackle, bounces to the outside, and coast in untouched from 4 yards away. It looked like a 10-yard run, but Deontay Elliott, his 3rd touchdown of the night, and Deontay Elliott having himself a ball game here. It's now 46-21, extra point upcoming.
Yes, sir. All Mountain Lions here doing a great job. Number 41, Charles Gilbert for Basha had Deontay Elliott dead to rights there in the flat. But Elliott with that speed able to shake the tackle, and once he got out to the edge, it was nothing but pylon.
If you could, James, just read those, if you would, please.
I've got the impact players as Deontay Elliott, Parker McClure, and Mr. Anthony Carrington.
So Carrington didn't deliver, but he did deliver because he stretched the defense.
That's it.
He was, the ball got poked from him a couple times. Keep giving him some reps. It's going to be nice. Now, let's have some fun. You bring out Ramses Rivera with Carrington. Oh, my. He's got a lot of speed on the outside.
Yeah.
And then you talk about these two tailbacks. Have a night. Deontay Elliott, 3 rushing touchdowns here this evening. We mentioned his game here last year, making his debut as a member of the Mountain Lions. 136 yards and a touchdown on 25 carries. 3 touchdowns tonight. He's having a big night.
He is having a big night indeed. And another important thing for Red Mountain here, and hopefully it's not too early to talk about it with 1:49 remaining here in the fourth, but they got to stay healthy. That's the main thing. We're halfway through the season right now. They got some players coming around, coming into their own, if you will, and they got to keep those guys healthy, keep the nucleus of the team healthy, and these guys are poised to go very far this season, Kevin. This could be the year.
Yes, they are. 9 touchdowns for Deontay Elliott, and you saw the call. Once he got to the middle of the field, you knew it was over. You just knew it was going to be a touchdown. And the over pursuit, they had him in the backfield. When you want to get Deontay Elliott, you got to wrap up. You've got to get his legs, because if you give him any kind of move, he's going to hurt you. He's going to make you pay.
So fast, and he's so strong too, Kevin.
Yeah, and we were talking about these tailbacks, and how can you not? Sometimes you run out of superlatives for these guys. They've made outstanding plays, but it all starts with the beef up front, and these guys have really been tremendous tonight. Ben Bray, an Arizona State commit, Isaiah Artis, Costin Cooley, Carson Foster, Tyler Brown, and Big Jake. How about Big Jake last week? Huge game for him last week. For Jake Griffin last week, he had a bunch of tackles, got to the quarterback, tackle for a loss. Big Jake starting to really come on. And remember, for Jake Griffin, coming off that MCL tear, that's just not easy to come back from.
Oh, not at all. And a lot of these Red Mountain offensive linemen, too, very versatile, able to play a number of positions along that front line. So that bodes well for Mike Peterson.
So Basha will go to the quarterback, and they made a change at quarterback. Penalty marker comes in. Parker McClure was in the middle of that pile talking. And I don't know, but my guess is that there's too many men in the huddle. I don't think anybody was going to get flagged for talking. However, it would be interesting to ask some of these guys what the conversation was like down on the field tonight. Mike Peterson and the fellows are going to be on the news here coming up shortly.
That's right. Tune in. Channel 3 should be at 10:40 tonight. Tressa Sedgwick will be here. She'll be doing the Varsity Zone live. Or I don't know if it'll be live, probably be taped, but tune in. Make sure you're on the Varsity Zone at 10:40 tonight, Channel 3. Get some Red Mountain football coverage.
You got to figure that Deontay is going to be featured. And there goes the quarterback going down. And who got him? Trey Smith. If indeed that holds up, that would be sack number 4 for Trey Smith. That's double digits now for the Truth. And the quarterback who just checked in this ball game, 21, well, that's the tailback playing quarterback. That's Fernandez. So right now the Basha Bear offense is in disarray here. They got beat up in this ball game. They're going to lose it 47-21. And I like the finish by Trey Smith right there. You can smell and you know that the blood is in the water. And right now the Sharks are swimming and they're circling. And they're going after the Bear quarterback. And they run it up the middle and he gets munched. Glovna, Vincent Glovna there to make the tackle. 36 seconds and counting. The Mountain Lions are going to improve to 5-1 on the season. And the Basha Bears are just going to walk off the field here. And you have to credit Mike Peterson and his football team for coming to Basha and getting a road victory. And it's 2 in a row now on this road swing. 47-21. How about it for the Mountain Lions, huh, JP?
How about it? What an effort, a great, outstanding ball game here. They got it done in all 3 phases tonight, and a little bit of a shaky start. But then once both teams started settling down, they were playing some good football, and Red Mountain just started taking over in the second half and didn't look back.
Red Mountain now holds the all-time series lead against the Basha Bears at 4-1. They win it tonight here 47-21. Red Mountain improves to 5-1 overall. James mentioned it twice tonight in the broadcast. Can you imagine Red Mountain, just that one measly little point against the Perry Pumas? They could be 6-0 here. I mean, they really could be. So they're 5-1, and they're looking good. We get Skyline next week, and it's all about the finish of this football season. For our outstanding crew, for Jeremy Knutson, our executive producer, Eric Rich, Gavin O'Hearn, Manuel Lopez, Aaron Lyons, Dayton Banneker, Maximilian Volkoon, Garrett Merrill, and Carson Jacqueline, we thank you for your contributions to Red Mountain TV. For our entire global listening audience, I'm Kevin Derryberry. He's James Poovey. The Mountain Lions win it. They're 5-1, 47-21, the victors. Check out the Lions Den this week with head coach Mike Peterson. Until next week from Skyline, good night from Basha High.